So normally I stay away from theme songs that are a play on the Red vs. Blue song music.
That was like a Legend of Zelda version.
But this guy's username was Churro Master. If someone named Churro Master gives you a theme song, you have to play it. I think we are contractually obligated to play anything by Churro Master.
Gus, as a
go ahead. Sorry.
as a person of color,
I hiccuped.
Do you consider yourself to be a person of color?
Sure.
He doesn't have any, but
He sounds very confident.
I cut my thumb this weekend, and I cut it like right on the joint.
Are you going to say minority did it? I mean,
I got one of those little cuts. It's like right on the joint of my thumb. So it's like as soon as I do it, I go, all right, I know that's my next 3 weeks is dealing with this fucking thing. But I got a Band-Aid on there, which, as you can see, is nearly invisible on my normal colored flesh.
a flesh-colored Band-Aid.
Can I get a racist check on that normal color? So, as a person of color, do you consider Band-Aids to be racist?
What's funny is growing up, I never thought that Band-Aids were supposed to be flesh-colored. I just thought that they were that color.
You just thought they were weird colored?
Yeah, I thought, okay, well, that's the Band-Aid color. And and it wasn't until much later that I thought, oh, that's incredibly racist that they're targeting like a very... Well, I guess it's not racist. It's very weird that they would target a very specific skin tone. And how did they come up with that color? Is that like the average color or the most... When they developed that color, was that like the most people in the United States were that skin tone at the time?
I'm going to go around the room and test this up against the color palette of our guests, and why don't you introduce them as I do it here?
Okay, well, that's Bernie Burns doing the testing up against Jack Patillo right now, who's probably suffering from trials thumb.
And speaking of white people, look who we have with us today.
We got Jay Ordan,
23.
23, Jordan,
Gavin, you're not going to fit because you're...
and
Italian.
Gavin Free,
Hello, everyone.
moving in slow motion.
So how do I come up against that?
I think everyone came out pretty good.
I think Jack was pretty close. I think those two assholes were really pale on it.
You think Gavin's pale? I don't think of Gavin as being a pale person
He
at
was
all.
pretty pale. Like his thumb was up against that Band-Aid.
I look darker than you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are darker than me.
I was on the
pale.
sun this weekend too, so
Yeah.
And, I have no idea why, but those three assholes are all wearing sunglasses right now, and it really scares the shit out of me.
I did the biggest double take I've ever seen.
They're all wearing the same sunglasses. Where'd you get those?
well, they're on
we're
Bernie's
sitting
desk.
here on the desk.
We record the podcast at my desk, which was the old conference room table. So I have this enormous table for a desk. And I do a thing where I know I'm going to break sunglasses. Gab, you broke your sunglasses this
I
weekend,
break
right?
them constantly.
You sit on them, right? Don't you this weekend? So I know that's going to happen. So when I get a pair of sunglasses I like, I buy about 7 pairs.
I
of
do
them.
the same with headphones. I buy like 10 pairs at once because I just trash them constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know how I break them so much.
How do you break headphones?
I don't know. I just catch them on stuff when I'm walking around, or like I'll sit on them. I sit on a lot of stuff.
So your bum kills all of your purchases.
It's true.
Have we told the story about Gavin and the water in his seat yet?
The water in
No.
his
So Jeff and I were sitting, like, we were in the office the other day, and Gavin was out of the room for some reason, and Jeff had a glass, like a pint glass full of water. And so Jeff was like, I'm going to put it in Gavin's seat. So he puts it, like, leaning up against the back of Gavin's seat. We thought he'd sit down and pour on his butt, and it'd be funny. Gavin walks in the room, just plops down, nothing happens. And it's like, Jeff and I are like, looking, and just nothing. And Gavin's spinning his chair around, he's moving back and forth, nothing happens. And finally, Jeff is like, slide over to make sure it's still there, and sure enough, it is. And then finally, what happened? How did you finally realize it was there?
Well, everyone was looking at me, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I realized I was just perched on the very end of my chair. That's how I sit. I don't really lean back into my chair. And there was just the water in
So-
it. I didn't even know.
It's a total failure.
Did
of
the
a
water
practical joke.
spill or not spill?
No, it was perfectly fine.
I just was like, "Oh, there's a glass here."
You were spinning around and the fucking glass of
Well,
water
no, I was
stayed
just
up?
kind of like, you know how you like rotate when you're working. I wasn't
Yeah.
doing 360s.
Still, like, this magical glass of water never fell over. It was very disappointing. I think I punched Gavin afterwards.
They play a lot of pranks on me that just don't work. Michael spin my desk around so it faces the other way, and I didn't even notice.
So I don't know which of you assholes does it, but someone constantly tries to prank Kara. Y'all will,
Not me.
move her mouse upside down or invert her display so it's 180 degrees rotated or weird things like that. And sometimes I need to sit down. I just need to like fax something or scan something on Kara's computer. I sit down like, what the fuck is going on with this thing? I spent like 5 minutes troubleshooting it, and then it's like, okay, now I can do what I need to do.
So nobody in this room? Nobody?
That sounds like a Brandon practical
I was
joke.
just, I could tell you it's probably
Because Brandon fucks with computers.
You want
Like,
to
that's not cool.
call him down here and ask him? Call him out on it right now?
Sure.
Yeah. Brandon's
It
like,
happened again this morning. Like I was like, why the fuck is the mouse going left when I'm moving right? And I looked like, mouse is upside down. Awesome.
no, Brandon's the one who'll fuck with your computer, and it's just like, I don't know, that's not cool. I'm not okay with that. I don't want to make Gus go out of his way to do extra work.
Thanks, Jack. I appreciate the
You're
kiss-ass
welcome.
answer.
You know, while we're
You're
talking
the
about
best, Gus.
pranks and water pranks. When Gavin and I were in Seattle, we went to a very nice dinner with some very influential people. And when we were about 10 minutes out from it, I dumped a bottle of water right in his crotch.
I forgot about that. He did do that.
Just for the hell of it. I thought,
He
well.
was,
Was it like a power play?
Yeah, exactly.
There was like half a bottle of water. He would look to me. He was driving. He goes, check this out. And he just holds the water and just goes, boop! Just chucks it around. Like, we're about to go out to dinner with some important people. And I'm like, I've pissed myself.
Nice.
He had a big wet spot.
Thanks, buddy. By the way, what you don't know is I was navigating, right?
Oh, once again,
Oh, no.
we have not hired a single good navigator at this fucking company.
I'm a good navigator.
You were complaining about my navigation skills, which were perfectly fine, by the way. I got us to the restaurant immediately with time
No.
to spare.
How many fucking times I say, are we turning left? You go, I don't know. And he'd be like,
And left there.
pull his phone back out.
On the way back from the restaurant to the hotel,
Yeah.
we did 3 circles.
Did we?
And you didn't notice.
What?
I navigated him around in a circle 3 times to see if he would notice, and he didn't. And then I was just like, screw it, let's go back to the hotel.
So you wasted your own time, and you think it's funny?
And he didn't
You're an
notice, so
idiot.
clearly it didn't work. Like, clearly it wasn't a big deal.
It was great. We spent about 15 minutes just doing nothing.
Just doing circles? Awesome. You're a joke master, Gavin.
I think Bernie's about to hit you.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I love the idea of going to a meeting, a very nice meeting where you interest people, and one of the guys has a huge wet spot on his hands. So, but you played it off very nicely, I thought.
What did you tell him?
And we had the weirdest coincidence ever, where we're walking down the road. Gavin knows one person in all of Washington State,
Yeah.
and we run into that person on the street in front of the restaurant.
It was
Your parole agent?
Jason's ex-girlfriend. It was Laurie.
Yeah.
She's literally the only person I know in that entire state. Just bumped into her in the street.
Wow,
She
that's
could-
crazy.
She could not believe it. I took a picture of her face when she saw me. She's like,
Do you walk around with your camera at the ready in case weird stuff happens, like you took her picture?
Yeah, pretty
for a
much.
moment?
Yeah,
She saw you.
I did. Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
And I had a fun moment there too, because the last time I heard about Lori, I heard she was talking shit about me. So it's like
God.
I had one of the best moments ever, where I walked up, you see someone on the street that just randomly in a different city in a different state, and she goes, "Oh my god!" I go, "Hey, what's up?" and I walk away. It's like flat out, fuck off.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
I could have had a moment of amazement or whatever. Totally saw it. Totally took the whole situation. It was like, "Hey, bye."
Well, I didn't know that happened, and Bernie wasn't even bothered at all. He's like, "Oh hey, yeah," just shot off into the restaurant. I was like, "Oh, he's not." Something must happen to him all the time.
That's exactly right.
That's- something similar happened to me the other day. I was walking out of like Best Buy, and I recognized the girl walking in. It was someone I went to high school with, but I haven't talked to in like well over a decade. And I didn't even want to be bothered with trying to remember her name or anything like that.
So you just didn't talk to
so
her?
I kind of just ignored her completely and walked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like seeing people I used to go to school with. I'll actually like cross the street to avoid them if I can.
No, I just completely. I mean, I forgot her name, but I knew her, but I was like, yeah, I know you from high school, but I don't really want to take the time to try to figure out or have this connection. Be like, oh yeah, hey, how you doing? What are things? I really didn't care.
Where were you?
I was just the Best Buy in South Park, but
So I met Jordan for the first time on this trip.
Jay or Dan.
Animator, Jay or Dan. And what was the first thing I did to you, Jordan?
You almost decapitated me with a frisbee.
I did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He didn't throw a frozen egg at you or anything like that?
It was one of Jack's disc golf discs, and I was trying to outthrow Jack.
It's a frisbee. Just say it.
It's all right.
one of Jack's frisbees.
okay,
You do
sure.
not have to say that.
Professional frisbee.
professional.
I don't know, you got weird about it when I called it frisbee. Anyway,
Anyway,
I tried.
Just golf disc. I want to fucking punch you now.
I tried to outthrow Jack, and Jack is a freak of nature. He can throw that thing very far. I
So-
threw it, and it just came right back.
so
at
this
me.
might be an RT Life. We filmed it, but I don't know if it comes across on the film because like they vanish pretty quick. The actual like the discs do, and so frisbees do. Excuse me, guys. And so I made a bet with Gavin that I could throw I can throw in one throw further than he could in two. Like,
Oh, okay.
like say
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
he would throw it, step up to where it landed, and throw it again, and still not catch where my one threw. And needless to say, I destroyed Gavin.
Did you ever count how many throws he needed to catch up to you?
Well, every
If-
throw I did came right back at me, so it would have been about
yeah.
Are you doing
12.
boomerangs? Are you retarded?
Just the angle. I think I threw it too
That
high.
angle?
It's-
How do you get a frisbee to come back to you?
You throw it up like
if you
it's
throw it
like
straight up,
45
it'll come
degrees.
back
It'll come
down.
right back at you.
No.
Yeah,
not,
well.
not 45 degrees.
Well, Something
If you
like
throw it like 90 degrees straight up, yeah, it'll come back to you. That's gravity.
No, it's
Well,
perfectly
what are you
fine.
talking about?
If you
You've
throw
never
it at
thrown
an
a
angle,
frisbee when it comes right back down the line and you threw it.
They're like 80.
You can throw them flat and they'll go far. If you throw them like that, they'll just do that and then come right back.
Yeah.
If you're Gavin and you're
Welcome-
trying to throw it straight, it'll
Welcome
go.
to science, Gus.
You're welcome to science.
But yeah, so we did that, and so I won the bet, and we filmed. I don't know if we'll cut it together. I don't know if I came across, but
We'll see.
And then I was like, I wonder if I can hit the building from where I'm standing, which is like maybe 300 feet away, maybe less than that. And like I chucked it and just clearly hit the building. I was like, I'm going to try, and he threw it. Got pretty close. I will give you that. And then he's like, okay, I'm like, throw it again, see if you can hit the building, but don't throw it on top of the building. First thing he did is immediately threw it on top of the building.
Yeah.
So we had a frisbee stuck up on the building next door. But thankfully, the air conditioner guys were there to repair it. And I was like, hey, I know it sounds dumb, but we just lost our frisbee up there. Can you see it?
Do you think that happens to those guys constantly?
Well,
Like whenever they come out to fix an air conditioner, like people in the office are like they all come out in droves, like hey,
They
there's
should
something up
start.
there.
They should start a secondary business called "While I'm Up Here." And it just
Let's start
just
the air
get
business
cracked
call.
You just get a ladder and go places.
I've got a huge ladder.
And so I was like, I know, yes, we're 12 years old at the office, but I think we have a frisbee up there.
I know, right? Then we hopped the fence and got chased by a dog.
But yeah, during that frisbee time, I flung it and it came off completely sideways, and Jordan had to
I
duck.
was standing right there.
It almost knocked his head right off.
So
So it's a good welcome from you.
But it was
Yeah,
good.
I was here for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
and it
You know,
happened.
and you almost died by frisbee.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
but anyway, it's a lot of fun. I went and played disc golf this weekend. That was really cool.
It was a great weekend.
Dude,
It
it
was
was
sunny.
so beautiful
Who hung out
outside.
in the sun, Gus?
I did.
God, fuck no.
I did. I had a blast.
What'd you do?
Hung out, swam.
Yeah,
you have a pool
that's
now.
what you got to
Yeah,
do.
I went down to
bastard.
the park too, and then did a bunch of movie stuff. I filled our entire dumpster at the office with stuff I'm throwing away. I recently moved and we downsized houses, so
I think
I'm in a simplify mode.
This
Simplify.
office has a problem with trash.
You have a problem with trash.
This office has a real problem with trash. I figured it was you throwing that stuff away.
Yeah.
And Barbara, sent an email to everyone that's going, hey, there's a perfectly good table in the dumpster. I took it out. It's at my desk now if anybody wants it. It's like, it's in the fucking trash. Just leave it there.
I actually did. It wasn't thrown away. It was put next to it. So sometimes when I think, oh, somebody could use this, I'm going to put it next to it, and then if it sits out there for a couple days, then I'll throw it away. But that was like a chest high table that actually the mocap guys incorporated.
People have a real problem with waste.
People have a problem with waste.
Like, people don't like to waste stuff.
Gavin's very wasteful.
I'm all for it.
He has no problem.
People are weird like that.
Well, okay, like, explain, like, what do you mean, Gav?
Well, like videos I've made, like that giant balloon, all the water just went to waste, and it's like
People
are
are your lawn.
people complaining. It's like,
You
well,
got a bath.
yeah, and like anything I smash, like I smashed an Xbox, it's like, oh, why didn't you sell it to me? It's like, well, that would have made a good video. We put it on eBay. It's dumb. But I don't know why people get so upset about that.
You should do a slow-mo video of you making a Craigslist posted.
Here's me slow mo. If you did a slow mo video of logging into PayPal, that would probably collapse the space time continuum.
If you,
If you played that back in slow-mo, like, human civilization would end before that video completed.
It's like one of those things where they show the scale of all the stars. It's the same kind of thing. Have you? Most people don't log into PayPal. Do you guys log into PayPal at all on a regular basis? Any of
Sometimes.
you? I know you do.
Oh, yeah,
And
fuck that
I do.
thing.
Logging into PayPal. This is one of the oldest sites on the internet. It's probably one of the most trafficked sites on the internet. To log in to get to your goddamn account, I don't know how long a period of time is, but it is exactly 5 seconds shorter than my attention span. Because you'll watch it try to log in, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go to another tab. Then you see
right.
your PayPal tab is there. You go back and you're logged out.
timed out, yeah.
Yeah.
It has taken me like half a day sometimes to get one thing done on PayPal.
I've resorted to starting to, well, when I can't speak anymore. I've resorted to opening a new browser window and moving it off to the side and just leaving it there so I can still see it. And then when it logs in, then it's like, okay, there, it's ready.
Here's what's crazy about it, which I've never understood. If you go to PayPal and you log into your account, it takes forever. But when you go to buy something on eBay, it logs in instantaneously.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is that? Why is that?
You want to give them money? No problem. You want to see your money? Oh, no, hold on, wait.
Whoa.
Let's calm down.
Who do you
here.
think you are?
Everybody, please remain calm.
It's like the virtual equivalent of waiting in line for a bank teller. It's like you log in, you're like, okay, next. All right, my turn.
It does seem like there's stuff that is intentionally slower and more difficult. Like when you go to cancel anything.
Oh, God,
it's like,
God.
it's obviously they're putting hurdles in your way. Obviously, right?
So I last night actually canceled my World of Warcraft subscription. Or
Whoa.
I deactivated my account because
Why?
I've been playing.
Yes.
I literally haven't logged in like 6 months, and I'm paying for this thing. I was like, might as well like.
How much is it per month?
I think. Well, I was doing the quarterly thing, and I think it's like 35 or 40 a month.
I think it's
per
40.
quarter. Yeah, so it's like $40. It's not a big deal, but it's like I'm not using it. Don't want to spend money on it. And I went to my Battle.net account, and I clicked the account, and it said, like, 0 balance. And I was like, that's weird. And then I hit, like, help or whatever, and it's like, oh, World of Warcraft account's on a different thing. It's like, well, it's all tied through Battle.net, but still you have to go to the World of Warcraft thing and then pick subscription, and then it's...
And that's an example of legacy shit.
Yeah.
Like they started with the World of Warcraft, and then they've done a migration to Battle.net. So I could see why that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But do you think they would have straightened that out by now?
What?
The Mist of Pandaria betas started going out this past week, I think.
Yeah, I think the drunk tanks on the World of Warcraft, they're still around. They want to do some streaming on Mist of Pandaria, so...
That's cool.
Could be neat. But we've been playing on the drunk tanks on the Old Republic have been playing a lot of the 1.2 patch, which we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. And it's pretty cool. Where we jumped into the new operation, and immediately went to hard modes. Like we're not even dealing with story mode, it's like the normal, and we went straight to the hard stuff. And it's fun.
I'm
Very
lost.
difficult.
I got confused in that whole conversation.
You know,
I have
actually,
nothing to add.
I heard pandas.
actually, last Friday I got an invite from one of the guys at BioWare. They had the Star Wars Old Republic launch party. Even though the game's been out for a few months now, they finally had like their official launch party, and so I heard free drinks and food. So I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll go out and check that out."
Are they patching their launch party? this launch party incorporates all the features.
Wait.
we wanted to ship with.
Wait, what is this?
So they had a Star Wars: The Old Republic launch party up in North Austin,
Yeah.
and I went to it.
Did you know about this?
Oh, fuck no.
No, this was like last minute. I got an invite. It was supposed to be employees only.
I'm on the same minutes you are, motherfucker. No invite? Did you get an invite,
No, I
guys?
didn't get an invite.
Motherfucker.
So,
wow.
but anyway, I showed up, and like even then,
see what's up.
even then I wasn't on the list. And I had to call my friend and be like, "Hey, what's up? You said I'll be on the list." And so anyway, big issue. But it was a lot of fun. Like they had drinks in the Renaissance Hotel. There was actually a photo on Reddit from the
Ooh la la,
Renaissance.
it's a Renaissance.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. But there was a photo on Reddit this weekend, and it was like, so this happened in my hotel, and it was a bunch of Jedi and Sith fighting in the lobby of the
was that
Renaissance.
at the Renaissance?
That was the BioWare thing.
I saw that
Wow.
picture.
And so
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Sounds very last minute to me. Wow. They booked the Renaissance.
and so
And got an open tab at the bar? Wow,
Yeah.
how did
And
they ever
so,
manage at the last minute?
So they did this big thing, and like the owners, the doctors, the guys who own BioWare came out and they gave a little speech thing, and they said, "All right, well, now the party's actually going to begin. So turn around and go downstairs." And so we all turned around in this big room and left, and like the people, like the cosplayers were all lined up, so like Twi'leks and Darth Vader and Darth Maul and various stormtroopers. They're all there. We go downstairs. There's another bar, but behind that, like they have a casino set up. And so,
How did they throw this together?
they had a casino set up, and it was pretty badass. Like we all got 10,000 chips, but not only that, or $10,000 in chips. But not only that, they had a life-size Jabba the Hutt with slave Leias, and they had an ice sculpture of a Wampa with like these like stormtrooper girls and like
They just
bikini
threw
outfits.
together.
I'm watching, as you're saying this like endless list of stuff, I can see Bernie's face getting more clenched up. And look at his fist now.
And then-
How nice of you to invite them on the podcast multiple times and do interviews to help them promote their game. You are a great person. I'm glad they invited you to
I
go
know.
to the last minute party.
That was awful nice of them.
David Bass.
Well, you weren't here, first of all. You
He doesn't know that.
well, you weren't on AIM, so maybe he could have tried to find you on AIM.
Yeah, I couldn't find me on email
But
either.
and then
or call me.
and so
Text me.
Boba Fett was DJing, which was awesome.
Boba Fett was DJing.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Gus,
But,
remember earlier when I said how companies make it hard to cancel accounts? Let's see how BioWare handles it right now. Let me log in.
My problem is my Old Republic account's on my PayPal. I got like 2 systems fucking me there.
Perfect.
So anyway, I'll give you a photo of the Jabba and the slave Leias. You can post along with that. But
No, we'll be sure to do that.
so I had a fun Friday night, to say the least. It was good
Well,
times.
it sounds like a very good time. We hope everybody had a lot of fun.
I don't want to go to that stupid thing. Wait, did you say Friday night?
Yeah,
I was
Friday
here
night.
Friday night.
Were you here Friday night?
I landed in Austin like at 6 p.m.
Oh, okay. No, I literally I got the invite at like 5, and the party was at 7. So I went home, changed, and immediately went out there. So
Assholes.
I'm not bitter.
So let's go over everything that's broken in Old Republic.
yeah,
Sounds like a wonderful time.
it was a lot of fun. There were some cool costumes there.
I actually, when you guys were sitting here talking about World of Warcraft, I logged into my Battle.net account because I haven't done
Yeah.
that in a while. So I logged in, and it made me accept a new was it EULA?
Terms of use.
Yeah.
Terms of, what is it?
End user license agreement, or
Yeah.
The thing that nobody ever has ever read. Ever.
There's a South Park episode about it.
I'm pretty sure I just agreed to play Diablo 3 for the rest of my life or whatever.
Put in so many hours.
One thing I can't stand is like when they like, it's great. Battle.net's great. Like they give you all the digital versions of all your games.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And so I can just download them now and not have to worry about that. Like my kid this weekend decided he wanted to play Mass Effect, the first one. It turns
The
out
first one?
I had bought that on Games on Demand, and so we downloaded it. I'm still getting my wireless set up in my new house just right, and it's always like, where in the house do you put the router? And man, it got disconnected so many times when I was trying to download Mass Effect for him. It took a 6.3 gig download. I think it took about 14 hours.
Holy shit.
Stuff's slow anyway, though, from servers, typically. It's slower than, like, regular internet.
Anybody having trouble with
Stuff
Xbox
slow.
Live?
Hold on, wait. Let's step back a second here.
Go on.
God's sake.
Stuff from servers is slower than stuff from the internet?
No, I said stuff.
That's what you said.
That is what
I
you
was
said.
referring to the Microsoft servers when you download something from the marketplace. Sorry, guys, that wasn't clear.
From Games on Demand.
Stuff from servers is slower than stuff from the internet. What the fuck do you think the internet is?
That is not what you thought I meant.
That's exactly what you said.
All right, well, my bad.
I don't know. You're the one who's talking about fucking wiper juice and headlight fluid. I gotta take you at face value, Gav.
All right, here we go, Gus. This is it.
Hit me.
Gus, this is Buda office, right? This is going back a
Buda?
long time. Buda.
Yeah.
Gus was messing with a PC. And I was just watching him because, I was just like learning what people were doing at Rooster Teeth back then. It was like 6 years ago. And Gus was like messing around with his PC. And he kept flipping the switch on the back of the power supply. Kept flipping it on. He was like, God, like flipping it back and on, like checking the plug. And he was just doing this for like probably 5 minutes and like messing with it, opening up the case and like flicking the switch. And I was like,
It wasn't powering
it
up.
wasn't powering on. I was just keeping quiet. And I was I eventually just flexed up the courage to say, "Don't you actually like press the on button on the front?" And he was like, "Oh."
So you were running power to it, but never hitting the power button.
I was flipping the power on the back on the power supply. But I
Wow.
wasn't hitting the power switch up
This is the
front.
tech guy. So that's why I didn't say anything for so long. I was like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing. He knows that he's probably got to press the button on the front to turn it on."
I'm gonna blame you for that, Gav. Like you being that close to him may have sucked the brains out of him, and especially that was like 20 years ago when you were like 12 years old. So
So what do you have to say to that?
I fucked up. I fucked up. I'll own up to it. I was an idiot.
Good.
Not like you, who's like, no, that's not what I meant. Whoa, what
Yeah,
I meant
ooh.
That is the classic thing, though, when other people fuck up, they're complete idiots. But when you fuck up, it's like, oh, that's understandable. That happens.
whatever. We all do that every now and then.
At least I own it.
Yeah.
Speaking of young Gav, though, I saw recently that somebody on Reddit posted
The Rooster Teeth subreddit.
in the Rooster Teeth subreddit. By the way, the subreddits on Reddit are very cool. Like, if you go through and you learn how to subscribe and unsubscribe for stuff, you basically tailor Reddit to whatever you want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So,
The Breaking Bad subreddit is pretty
And
awesome.
if you use Reddit Enhancement Suite, you never have to go to a next page.
what does that mean?
Oh, really?
It's like a browser plugin that you can scroll down, and then the next pages of Reddit just load below it. So you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You never
Fuck
have to
that.
click.
And you can
And-
you can mouse over images and stuff
right,
too.
you can mouse over images, and you don't have to click on the link. It just pops up the image. It shows you what they're linking to.
That sounds nice.
And you can tag, you can tag people and stuff.
Yeah.
like if someone says something interesting,
Yeah,
you
Reddit
tag their
Enhancement
name.
Suite.
I don't need anything that makes Reddit more accessible.
Like before, I would go maybe 3 or 4 pages in.
Yeah.
Now with Reddit Enhancement Suite, I'll be like, oh shit, I'm at like post 700 now.
Carrie sent me a link one time. He goes, hey, check this out. He sent me a link, and it was post number 850 on Reddit. And I was like, 850? I go, do you want to go out, dude, and get a drink? It's like-
Anyway, I derailed you. You said you saw something in the Rooster Teeth subreddit.
so somebody posted, I found, this is by user Nick_V on Reddit. I found Gavin's journal entry about when he first met Bernie. And it's when I went over to the UK, and look at this fucking picture.
Gavin just took sunglasses off his face and had more sunglasses on underneath.
I did do that. Sorry, carry on, Barry.
Is this the time y'all met to watch episode 3 and he watched it before you got there?
Yep, exactly right. That's the time.
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah, look at this
we've been
picture of
through
me and Gavin together.
Oh my God, you look like a cancer patient.
He does. He looks.
You look like DJ Qualls
That
from
was
Road Trip.
that was the picture.
Oh
that,
my God.
That was the picture that Luke McKay used and drew your face from.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
That's
that was
fucking crazy.
I had my
I once
avatar
made an
photo.
overlay of his drawing over that picture. It looks really creepy.
Were you
Did see
not
that?
fed before Bernie met you? Like, did Bernie have to give you food or something? Like, you look so
Is there a
sick.
famine?
couldn't figure out
Is
how
there a
to eat.
potato famine?
Wow, look how tiny you are.
We'll put a link to
Holy
this,
crap,
to this
man.
journal. The
That's
link
crazy.
to.
I was like, what, 16?
You were like 2.
No, I think you were 15 and you turned. Maybe you turned 17. Yeah,
I
you
was
were 16.
I was 14 when I signed up on your site.
How did
and
your
now,
nose not get any smaller?
Exactly.
Like, your nose has stayed the same size.
Yeah, I've got the Italian bone structure going on. I'm about to turn 24 a month from today,
Crazy.
and I signed up when I was 14 on your website. That
Is that
terrifies
illegal?
me.
Don't you have to be 16 to sign up on our site?
no, back then you didn't.
Yeah, back then it was different.
Can we retroactively
Back then it was
disable this
13.
count?
You were 16. You talked about the journal. You wanted a beer, and so I tried to convince the waitress in the UK that you were my brother, and it was okay
Yeah,
if you had a
that
beer.
would work.
That's wrong on a lot of different levels. I mean, it's I'm trying to buy a 16-year-old a beer.
15-year-old.
You're hoping to
No,
get
he
lucky.
was 16. I just looked it up. Yeah.
So I've noticed lately a lot of things that we talk about in the podcast are starting to end up on Reddit.
Hey, let's talk about that.
Like it's like to the point where it's like, what the fuck?
It is true.
It's like it's getting mine, and then I look through the comments. It's like, oh, you took this from the Rooster Teeth podcast. You took this from the Rooster Teeth podcast. Like today, I learned, and then a link to like something else. Like motherfucker.
Yep.
There's no
like-
way you would have heard about that.
Like one in particular. Name a few examples.
Just yesterday, I saw like today. I learned there's a Twitter bot that calls Stealth Mountain that goes and corrects misuses of Sneak Peek. And you mentioned that like 3 months ago, maybe.
Yeah,
2
but-
months ago.
That would be an example of something though that I got from Reddit, but it's typically something where we talk about like something on the podcast, like, and then it ends up directly on Reddit. Like, I mean, not like the leopard attacks. I'm trying to think of a good example, but I see it all the time. There was one that happened last week, and it was like a discussion that spontaneously happened here and ended up on Reddit. I think we're very clear about when we credit Reddit whenever we
obviously credit Reddit.
when we take a link from there.
Well,
So-
when in the comments normally when people are like, "Oh, Rooster Teeth podcast," the original post is like, "Yeah, I love the podcast." Like they fess up to it.
You bastards.
I think this week's animated adventure is the dolphin hand jobs, and that one. Also, that discussion also ended up back on Reddit.
That's a great example. The dolphin hand
Dolphin
job
hand
thing
job.
ended up on there. That's
Okay.
right. Because Gus was talking about it, and then that's like a
I can't wait to
30-year-old
s-
story.
It's an amazing story.
How did that come across in an animated adventure? Did you have to
Creepy.
kind of
the scene
Censor it
where-
carefully.
The scene where they drop acid is amazing.
Yeah.
Probably seizure inducing.
Yeah, I was worried about that. If you have epilepsy, don't watch this week.
Yeah, it made me think about like when back in the '90s when all those people had seizures in Japan from watching that Pokemon episode.
Yeah.
Wait, is this one coming out today, or when is it?
Yeah,
when is this one
it's this
coming out?
week's.
Okay, sweet. Just say that's why I haven't seen it yet.
So what? Oh, so go ahead.
I was just saying, speaking of animated adventures, I like the one last week where at the end, what is it? Is Bernie beating the shit out of the two women or something like that?
God damn.
but not
I
that
didn't realize
part.
there were women in the game.
I didn't feel that good about
No,
that.
but the two women are the two cunts from the airplane from
Oh,
Jeff
nice
and
touch.
Gus.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
nice touch. way to reuse assets.
So,
It's a nice homage, and I'm lazy.
so apparently at least one of the voice actresses who plays one of the checkpoint guards is embracing that, and like, because I've complained about it so much now, she's going to come harass me at Comic-Con.
Oh wow,
What?
you got it coming.
On Twitter. Yeah, they were talking about it. Where
Wait, the checkpoint guards? What?
yeah, it's in Mass Effect 3.
Oh,
the
okay.
one of the female voice actresses who plays
I thought
that.
you were talking about one of the two cunts. I was like, what? I was so confused.
We found them.
I like that's how they're known now. By the way,
Yeah, it's a good. By the way,
So one of the checkpoint guards is going to come and
harass me at the booth.
Wow.
She wants to find out when I'm coming in and harass me at the security checkpoint. I don't think she understands how that works in the airport. You
Yeah.
don't do it going out of the airport. You do it going in.
Unless she finds your bag on like the carousel or something first.
Or maybe she'll stand by our booth, and anytime you try to walk into the booth, she makes you wait for 15 seconds.
I should probably look that up and find out what her Twitter name is here.
Or she loads the booth.
Probably a good
I
idea.
don't mean to brag, but we reached another milestone. That cartoon with the two cunts.
I think you do need
It
to.
sounds
brag.
like you are bragging.
1 million views.
You're meaning to brag.
That's the second animated adventure now, over 1 million.
Yeah, people love them. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
There's another couple, I think, that are like 850 or 800 that are pretty close to breaking over.
And we just announced this week that on YouTube at least we broke 1 billion views.
1 billion.
Yay.
10 digits.
I just can't get my head around the number.
Dude, that number in the upper right corner
It's-
of our profile page is sick.
That's like putting
Looks
up
so
a
cool.
1,000 million view videos.
1,000.
It's just like putting
he
up
is
1,000 million.
He is 1/1000th. His one video is 1/1000th of that.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your efforts. Thank you for contributing to the company. Yes. So we get discussions about that sometimes. We talk about 1 million. It's like 1 million sounds like a big number,
Yeah.
right? When I was a kid, like, well, you 1 million.
Yeah.
You know. But I think Gavin and I talked about this with you one time, is that 1 million, so you're going to make $1 million. That's like a ton of money. But if I say to you, can you make $1,000? Does that seem achievable?
Yes.
Right. It sounds like you could make $1,000.
Yes.
A lot of people make $1,000. You know, you might do it several times. You know, $1 million is 1,000,000. So
Yes.
making $1,000 1,000 times doesn't sound that hard, but making $1 million sounds really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, and then it's just numbers. Making $1,000 is 0.1% of the way to making $1 million. When you think about it that
0.1%.
way, it seems like it's really daunting.
Oh.
It does. But somehow 1,000 seems like a quantity I can wrap my mind around.
Yeah.
But 1,000 million view videos, that's what makes $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know.
Congratulations, Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Go team.
So
What's the most viewed video on our YouTube? And we started on YouTube late, too.
We did.
We didn't get a channel
We've
till,
only been around for like 2 or 3 years. No, 3 or 4 years at this
I
point.
think 3.
Our number one's Angry Birds right now.
Oh, is it?
Angry Birds like 16 million, I think.
there's actually quite obscure ones that have really high views that you
for,
wouldn't
the,
even think.
for the longest time, my Mortal Kombat videos I made forever ago.
Yeah, I
Mortal
remember
Kombat
those.
versus DC Universe.
That was a good idea.
Fatalities. Like those combined have like 15 million views, I think, maybe. So that's like 1%.
Caboose,
Really?
Caboose in the Halo Reach campaign did really well as well. It's
Yeah,
a funny
no,
video.
no,
That's a
no,
great
well.
video.
Series really well.
Jesus, since we crossed $1 billion, we've already added 10 million.
Jesus. Views.
Yeah, the numbers are out of control.
So that means we'll hit 2 billion in like 4 months.
We're just collecting all that interest off of those views. Yeah, it's just gonna sustain itself now.
Trade
We have
it.
all our views in the view bank, and they're just multiplying.
All right, I'm going to go from most popular.
Go for the top 10. Top 10.
Top 10. Top 10 is this is on YouTube now.
On
This is not-
YouTube, top 10. And this is only YouTube numbers.
Right.
So this isn't including Red vs. Blue.
No, like Red versus Blue.
No, Red vs. Blue's on there, but
it's
you gotta-
old- it's old Red vs.
It's old Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, like episode 1 probably has over 100 million views across
In the
every
world.
channel of media.
It's hard to figure out. But the other thing too is that on YouTube we typically put up Red vs. Blue 2 years after it
Yeah,
comes out.
yeah.
Anyway, Angry Birds has 17 million views.
17 million, wow.
Good God.
Red vs. Blue season 8, Tex fighting the Reds and Blues.
That's
my,
episode 10.
my personal favorite episode of Red vs. Blue ever. 5.8 million views.
That's the warehouse beat the shit out of.
Episode 1 of Red vs. Blue. Why are we here?
Okay.
And that's probably today going to be passed by Rage Quit: The Impossible Game.
Really?
Which is weird because I don't think that's the best Rage Quit.
That,
How many views does that Rage Quit have?
4.6 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so
It's a
Michael
good
has
video.
Michael has the biggest Achievement Hunter video we have?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Get used to it.
Justify his existence.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Hey, top 5.
That's
3.5 million.
I-
Probably going to be passed by Siri the Horror Movie.
Yeah, for the longest time, I had like 3 of the top 5 videos.
I can't believe that Siri only.
And they
has,
were those
like,
Mortal Kombat.
They were all
million.
Mortal Kombat.
I would think the Siri video had
All right,
more
so
views than that. It's
series
crazy.
number 6, how many views is that?
Which, I mean, honestly, Jack, I mean, I like that those videos are great and they do well, but I don't think they're indicative of the work you do. Like, I would think it would be great if one of your top videos was a fails or,
absolutely.
or a horse, you know,
Yeah,
because
and that'll be the case over time. And
Fails
Mortal
are pretty high.
Yeah, fails are, they all do consistently.
Yeah.
Well. So, okay, how many views does Siri have?
that has 3.4, so that's like 100,000 behind
And
you.
that's the number 6.
That's number 6. Then, this is a really odd one to me, is the COD Black Ops Thunder Gun Easter egg video.
That was a Jeff video, I believe.
Wow.
Then Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, another one of those.
All right. That's number
That is very quickly going to be passed by your very first Fails, which has over 3 million views now.
Nice.
Yeah. And then that's being... Boy, we're about to get to the weird one, Gavin. I know you're going to say this. Caboose visiting the Halo Reach campaign, which was like our favorite PSA for like the last 5 years, was
Yeah.
when Caboose ends up in the Reach campaign.
That's so funny.
How many views that is?
Really fun.
That's about to break 3 million. So that I don't know if that'll pass Fails of the Week Volume 1. Because, you know, people always want to go back and watch the first episode of a long-standing series.
I mean,
and
we're
Fails
doing
is definitely that now.
Yeah, we're at Fails 85 this week, I think. I mean, god damn, that's crazy to think.
And then it's 4 Red vs. Blue videos. Oddly enough, Red vs. Blue ODST Episode 1, which
I
is
remember us making that one.
it was a campaign we did for ODST.
That was a lot of fun to make because half of that video is me just playing firefight as Sergeant Johnson, just shooting
Nice.
the entire
ODST
Covenant
was
army.
hard to shoot machinima in because we
Well, I was
couldn't
going to say
stop
as well,
the enemies.
that was the thing.
yeah.
Like, there was a time where
It's all firefight.
Bernie was doing the camera, Jeff was bobbing heads, and I was stood at the doors just keeping the Covenant away. So, like, what you don't see in that video is them talking, and me in the background just going,
We could shoot like a minute at a time. And then Episode 2 Red vs. Blue, Episode 4 of Season 8, the one where Monty's debut, basically.
Oh, okay.
And then the Season 9 preview. Wow!
We just
I
said
just-
Monty's
I
name.
literally just said your name.
We just said Monty's debut, and Monty opens the door and walks in.
Sit on my lap.
It's like a magician.
And then My Achievement Hunter video
me try something.
is the Left 4 Dead one, which
Mila Kunis.
Was that Man vs. Tank?
Yeah, Man versus Tank.
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Fuck.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I'm gonna settle for Monty.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
One of these days, I'm going to find time to work on some more Achievement Hunter stuff. One of these days.
Dude, we've been having these Let's Plays that we've been doing.
Dude, the Let's Plays.
It's
Like, so funny.
We just did this Trials Evolution Let's Play. It was.
I don't think I've ever laughed more in my
Gavin,
life.
Jeff, Michael, and myself.
I've been out of town, and so I hadn't been able to play Trials, but I saw the videos y'all were making, and everyone was talking about it on Twitter, and I finally downloaded and played it this weekend. God damn, that game is a lot of fun.
It's so much fun. But we did a 4-player Let's Play, like couch multiplayer, where we're all shared one screen, and it was some of the most fun ever.
How does it do that? Does it zoom way out?
It pulls out a little bit, but like if you fail, like your character vanishes until the next person crosses a checkpoint.
Yeah, the camera
And then you
favors the
reappear.
guy in front, and if you slip off the back, you reset.
Yeah.
and that costs 1 fault. But the best thing about it is the bailing. Like you have to time it where if you bail and you don't make it over the finish line, you can't get back on the bike. You're just like sprawling on the floor and waiting for
you
everyone to
have
finish.
one bail.
Gavin's an expert at being in like 4th place and then launching himself to the finish line and winning.
So funny.
But yeah, I played some multiplayer online this weekend. Actually, the first time I jumped on multiplayer for Xbox Live on Trials Evolution, the first guy I played against, it was head to head, just me and him. Afterwards, he sent me a message and said it was an honor to play with a Rooster Teeth employee.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, wow, that was cool. And then I jumped into another game, and it was 3 other people, and 2 of the other guys were like, "Is that Jack from Achievement Hunter?" And so it was like within like the first 4 people I met online, 3 of them knew who I was.
It's
They
amazing.
recognized my gamer
Hey,
tag.
Jack, didn't I see you at the BioWare party?
I was Boba Fett.
I was DJing. It was awesome.
I had a VIP wristband.
We are so overrated.
What's that?
Hey, Monty, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for coming by.
So, Monty, we were just talking about our YouTube channel, and your episode 10 of season 8 is our number 2 video all time on our YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
overrated.
You sound really excited about it,
It's
Monty.
very overrated.
Yeah.
Monty has a distinction. I think Monty has, for the entire site, I'm pretty sure Monty has the most viewed videos on GameTrailers.com.
I do. I actually have the most viewed video.
How many views?
4 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's overrated.
It's Haloid back from 2007. It got 1 million views in one day.
Shit.
God.
I remember that. Yeah,
So-
we all watched it like crazy. That thing was down at the Buda office.
He is the Charlie Bit My Finger of Game Trailers, basically. Would anyone care to guess what Charlie Bit My Finger?
I've never heard of that.
163 million.
You would be way the fuck off.
No, it's like 400.
460 million.
I only know this because in Boston,
was
every
in the
time I got
cats.
in a goddamn taxi,
I was still in the
they had this
taxi.
video. It was like, "Where is Charlie Bit My Finger today?" And it was like, I want to say it was around 400 or 500 million.
They did a really creepy thing where the reporter had the kid bite his finger.
Yeah.
At the end.
Charlie looks demonic.
He
I don't know
does.
if I'm the only one who thought that. He looks like a little asshole now.
Like
If
someone
you-
told him it's cute to bite fingers, and so that's all he does.
If you were the guy who had that kid, would you like him to bite strangers' fingers?
Oh my god, Gus, can you imagine if you were that kid and the way people interacted with you? Hey, dude, bite my finger.
yeah. Finger in your mouth. You're like, oh.
Gus would go insane. Do you know Gus's one rule at conventions?
Don't touch him.
No, he has one specific rule.
No
Don't lick
shoes?
him.
Don't lick.
Gavin nailed it. Don't give him your shoes. Which is weird that even comes up.
What?
You are not allowed to hand Gus your shoes. Like,
Yeah.
people say, here, sign my shoe. Gus is like, get that away from me.
It's like, I will
Wow.
not sign the shoe.
You realize by saying this, that's all that's going to happen the next time we have a convention.
Well, no, but I won't touch it, so it's fine.
Gus does not do anything he doesn't want to do.
It's like, I'll sign whatever else. I'm not signing your shoe.
Charlie Bit My Finger currently has 450 million views.
Did I say between 400 and
God.
500? So
You said 460, I think, but it's pretty close.
It almost has 1 million likes.
Jesus.
Pretty crazy.
You know, I had an issue the other day. I was playing Star Wars, and there was this kid in my guild who was like, "I'm going to come to RTX and slap Jack." Ha, ha, ha. And I said, "You do that, and I will call the cops on you."
What game are you playing?
Star Wars.
I haven't heard of it.
You're cool.
It's a new indie title.
But he's like, "Oh, just play along." I'm like, "Fuck you! I don't know who you are. Like, I'm not going to play. I'm not. You come and slap me. I'm going to call the cops on you. I don't know who. You know, that's. I hate that people think that like that's okay. Like, all right, yeah, fine. They love
Plus,
it.
he'll probably just come to you and just like get sweaty and walk away.
So anyway,
You just need Monty there to deflect anything. Does you
Jesus
guys threw
Christ.
a lemon at Monty?
Do we have an animated gif of that?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
we do.
somewhere.
So when I'll say I was sitting next to Monty on the panel, or I was sitting next to Carrie, and then Monty was next to Carrie, and when Keith.
Bosh.
Yeah,
So someone tossed a lemon.
Look
up to
at
Monty.
He doesn't even think about it. He's like, there it is.
Monty punches it, and he goes in a straight line.
I don't know.
Stick up.
I don't know
It's
what
got
was
right in
going
the
through my
chest.
head at that time.
Did you?
I
At
don't know
what point
either.
did you decide to punch Lemon? Was it before he threw it, or was it as it was in the air? You
I
just
was,
like, I'm gonna
I was
punch
just
it?
like, it was in the air. I'm like, I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just
And the
like,
thing
fuck
is,
it.
like, a fist, it's hard to direct an
Yeah.
object with a fist. He got it straight back
Yeah.
down the line and hit the guy in the
It's funny,
chest.
the lemon kind of arcs to Monty and then goes in a straight line.
So speaking of shoes at cons, Gavin and I have a game that we play called Kung Shu.
Yeah.
Which is
It's
essentially...
been an ongoing game for
Bernie
probably 4
becomes like a
years.
12-year-old when Gavin comes around.
You missed the whole discussion about throwing frisbees on the roof and then having to get somebody to get their frisbee down for them.
Disc golf discs.
Listen, as an adult,
Dump a little them.
you throw a frisbee on the roof, the frisbee's gone. You know,
Yeah.
you just donated karmically that frisbee to the universe,
Well,
right?
but that's what Gavin donated.
You just donated another 79 cents to the Whammo Corporation.
But Gavin donated my karma to the room. That was the problem.
How much is a disc golf disc?
Between 10 and 20 bucks.
I saw it for like $12.
Yeah.
So dumb.
He's a professional.
Guys, as an adult, if you throw a frisbee and it goes on a roof, how much would it have to cost for you to go and ask somebody to get it down for you?
Oh, I just get the frisbee.
It's just gone, right?
It's gone.
It's just gone.
If it's the roof of my house, I might put some effort into it just because I don't want the fucking frisbee on the roof. I don't want to see it constantly. But it's another fucking.
For what it's worth, it was gone, and I really didn't care. But the air conditioner guys happened to be there with a giant fucking ladder. I'm like, what are the? I mean, literally the next day, like, what are the odds someone with a giant ladder is going to be working on our roof? So I was like, hey, if you guys are up there, I know we're like 12 years old, but can you get our frisbee down? They kind of laughed at it, but they got it. So thank you, air conditioner guys.
So, this reminds me, though, of something. You said you have to get the frisbee off the roof if it's there. One thing, I was just talking about getting on my Battle.net account. And on my Battle.net account, it's got all the digital games, but it also has stuff that doesn't exist anymore, like a beta, for this game, or, there's 3 different versions of World of Warcraft that are all the same game. I just want to collapse them into one thing.
Yeah.
I like to be able to manage and prune stuff, and I hate when I can't do that, when I can't remove something from my list of games. Steam is like that, too. It's like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to see it, and I just want to get rid of it. Also, like Gavin achievements. There might be a game where you get 10 achievement points in something, just get 1 achievement, and then you're stuck with that game in your list forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they did
I
set
don't
it up
like
now
that.
where you can remove games you have 0 achievements in, right?
I would
Which
be
is
willing to
cool.
sacrifice in gamer score and just get rid of games that I played once and I have 10 achievement points in them, and I don't want them on my list. They're just too long.
I just want a section right at the top for my proudest, 5 games. I just want to do that.
They kind of have that for beacons now, where you can alert people
Beacons?
for stuff you're playing. Have you ever seen this in the new dashboard? It's like, hey, I'm playing Gears of War 3. I want to let all my friends know I'm playing Gears of War, and if
yeah.
they want to come play, to come play.
Yeah, it says so and so is playing the game, and it has like a little. The icon's different. Instead of being like the person silhouette, it's like a beacon, like a light shining.
I don't know why it goes off for single-player stuff, though. I'll be playing Skyrim, and it'll be like, Michael is also playing Skyrim.
No, that's different.
Great.
Well, you can talk to them about it. Maybe you can chat together.
There you go.
I just killed a fucking dragon.
That's different from a beacon, though. Like that's just alerting you when people
Oh,
are playing
okay.
the same game.
I figured they came in at the
The
same
beacon
time, though, I
icon is
think.
different.
All right.
It is.
Are you? And it's less offensive than when I would get into Halo 3 or whatever, and then somebody would send me an invite to come play Gears of War 2. It's like, I just loaded up Halo. Why would I want to come out and play Gears of War? Why would I want to do that?
Well, the first time,
I think Gears of War is not a great game.
that beacons came out in the dashboard update. I forget which game I was playing. Maybe it was Saints Row 3 or something. There's like that button, like invite friends or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought, will this bring up a menu where I get to select the friend I want to invite? So I hit it, and I realized I invited everyone on my friends list to come play Saints Row 3. I got so embarrassed I turned my Xbox off.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was like, I'll watch TV instead.
I can imagine 100 people just going,
It wasn't even that. I was just so embarrassed. Like I just spammed everyone on my friends list.
Yeah, but
I just turned the Xbox off.
Nice.
So they don't know that. They just think you're inviting them.
I love the things you get embarrassed about. It's so amazing, like his WoW thing, and then he's like, you quickly just have to
I just
turn
gotta
it
get
off.
out of
He's
here.
like, I've got to do something else.
It's like eject. No, run away. Yeah,
So you started playing Trials Evo.
yeah, it's awesome.
How far in are you?
I just got my A license.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're
So
on
you-
hards now.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I for a while I had you set as my rival Jack, so I could try to see how I was.
How do you do that?
You can set all
If you
friends
go-
as well.
If,
Yeah,
if
in
you
this- in
if you
this-
hit right bumper or something like that, it'll pop up with your or you go to stats, and then it'll show your friend's stats, and you can literally hit X and mark your rival.
So then, when you see the dots going along, they're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
red.
Yeah.
I saw the setting to only show your rival. I just didn't know how to set my rival.
Yeah.
So I had Jack set for a while, but he was too good, so I set it to Jeff.
Nice.
So Jeff's my rival now. He's like, we're about the same skill level, so it's
Jack and I
competitive.
have a bet going.
Oh, you want okay? Let's say it. So what's the bet, Gavin? Tell
The bet
us.
is that by May 18th,
18th.
I will have more high scores. I will have a score in maps higher than yours.
across all the
Across
maps.
all the
You'll-
maps.
you'll-
So
you'll
whoever
have-
has higher than the other, the most.
See,
How do I explain this?
This is doing great for me because there's maps you still haven't finished yet.
Yeah, I know.
I played that fucking Giga track the other day.
Oh,
my
that's
god,
the worst.
that comes out of nowhere.
I played that track for 30 minutes and the game cut me off.
Oh, is that one you tweeted about?
Yeah, I played for 30 minutes. I didn't even get to the fucking end of that track, and I got cut off. It's
not
like the
even-
bartender telling you, like, all right, that's it, buddy.
See, that one's not hard though. It's just long.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just super long. Like,
But it comes out of nowhere. You don't expect it. You're like, this is pretty long, and then it's like, wow, this is really long, and then like 3/4 of the way through, you're like, Jesus Christ, where's the end?
Then the game, like the night in the game,
yeah.
it goes from day to night.
Yeah, it gets darker
Time
as you play.
cycles.
Yeah.
I think the best time from anyone on my friends list on that track is like 7 minutes.
Yeah, I think
Oh my God,
the
really?
platinum, or I think the gold medal's like 750 with like 6 faults or something.
Have you played any Trials, Monty?
No,
He did buy a scooter though.
I did buy a scooter.
Oh, did you bring that in?
Yeah.
I've been having so much. We should somehow watch the security tapes of the fun I've had on that scooter.
So that first day, Michael Rage Quit decided to run down the stairs on that scooter.
Oh, how did that go? And why was no one filming it?
Surprisingly well,
not-
and it was being filmed.
Have you started building ramps yet and trying to do jumps?
We should.
We should.
We should make our own trials course.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that sounds genius. You guys have fun with that.
That's an immersion waiting to
Gavin.
happen.
Man. But yeah, that game is so much fun. And
Like, I love the intro. I feel like you think it would get old after a while, but like the rapping and the music at the beginning.
do you know, is that Brandon DiCamillo, the former
I have no
Jackass
idea.
guy? Like the guy who's raps? Like he was on the new Madden rap for the Mega 64
Oh, really?
guy.
Yeah.
It sounds like him. I'm not sure if it is.
He was
him.
actually a voice in the first Trials. As one of the.
It was him, like Rake Young.
Yeah, Rake's still in it, but Brandon's not.
No.
Yeah.
But
There's voices in that game?
Yeah,
Well,
just like.
Oh, those.
But yeah, it's pretty cool like that. We've been playing the crap out of the game, and actually the guys over at Red Links, the guys who make the game, have called us out a few times and like actually like retweeted stuff we've written in. Like actually,
That's cool.
Like I mentioned something about how Gigatrack was evil, and you should slap the programmer who made it, and they were like, "Oh, it's not that hard." And so
If you slap the programmer, they'll call the police.
Yeah, you just complained about people saying they're going to slap you online, and then
no, I
you
didn't say I would. I said they should slap the programmer.
It's the same fucking thing. It's the exact
That makes
same
it less
thing.
illegal.
So if that kid gets someone else to slap you, is that okay?
No, if you got like,
I'll do it.
No, I was saying,
if he gets me to do it.
If it was one of you guys who did it, I would be pissed. Then I would hit Gavin, no matter who did it.
The context of saying they is like someone in their own office should slap. So you're suggesting that someone here should slap Jack.
That's a good point.
I would not call the cops if someone in this office slapped me, but
Really?
then I would immediately slap them
What about
back, or
if they
do
punched
worse.
a lemon at you?
Well, Monty's a ninja, so I'm always worried about Monty.
What if somebody punched a lemon at you? So we never explained what Kung Shu was. So we
Oh yeah, sorry.
We play this game, Gavin and I, called Kung Shu.
We started
where-
this in 2009. Is my first video of Kung Shu.
I thought you started playing way before that.
Oh, maybe.
What the fuck?
It was
is
season
Kung
7,
Fu?
right?
It's where we kick our shoes at each other, but like we do it in a almost like Kato and Inspector Clouseau
Yeah, like
fashion.
you could be randomly attacked by a shoe at any point in the day. You just never know
how
when
many
it's
people
coming.
do you think are going to know Kato and Gavin? What is Kato and Inspector Clouseau?
From Pink Panther movies,
Okay.
Yeah,
of
look at
which
that.
I've seen every single one. Thank you very
Like I
much.
said, those are British films, so maybe that doesn't count for him.
Can
Carry
you
on.
name the original Inspector Clouseau?
Peter Sellers.
There you go. Peter Sellers. Did he?
I
ever
haven't
do
seen
anything-
this crappy Steve Martin ones. They look.
It
Crap.
wasn't even called Pink Panther. It was the original one.
Yeah, it was.
No, the
No,
original.
it wasn't.
What was it called?
I know what it is.
They were
anybody
called-
else?
There was one called the Pink Panther.
Yeah, but
The
the,
first-
wasn't the
the
first
original
one.
one was not. I was going to look
No,
at
the
Well, okay.
second one wasn't the Pink Panther. The first one was the Pink Panther.
No,
It is the weird. It is
the first movie was called A Shot in the Dark. And
No, that's the second movie.
No, that was the first one.
All right. So what's Kung Shu?
All right, what came out first? The Shot in the Dark or Pink Panther?
I'm looking it up.
They're looking. Gus is looking it up. It's such a
explain-
weird franchise, though, where it's a comedic franchise about a bumbling detective, but then they have this Pink Panther mascot that became known.
Well, Pink
and
Panther
the
was a
only-
diamond.
It was
Pink Panther's
yeah.
a diamond, but they have before the movie shows they have the animated credits,
Which
with
became a
the-
TV show.
with a Pink Panther that
Yeah.
then became its own thing.
And then became
And I think more
Insulation.
More, yeah, it became Insulation. I think more people know the Pink Panther than the Pink Panther movies. It's really strange.
Yeah.
It is weird.
It
is weird.
is
And
such
also-
a weird, like, melded, interwoven franchise between this cartoon panther and a French detective. It's
Gavin
so
was
strange.
right. The Pink Panther came out in 63. A Shot in the Dark is 64.
Oh my god.
Let me tell you why you might also be right. It also might have had a different U.S. release.
That's true.
It's possible.
Oh, sorry. Were you alive in 1964?
I did
looks like
also
you were.
say maybe.
still gives you a reason to slap Gavin around.
Don't get too excited about it.
That's what happens when you try and out Pink Panther me out of nowhere. Don't mess
So-
with me.
so-
Kung Shu.
Kung
We will do this
Shu.
thing where, like, I will walk up on Gavin and start filming and just go hiya, and then kick my shoe at him, and
Yeah.
we do that constantly. And it evolved into shoe golf
Yeah.
a couple years ago, where
But-
we play golf with our shoes.
I mean, it's got to the point where, like, I won't open a door without peeking around it sometimes. And I hid under your desk the other day. Do you remember that?
I knew he was in here. I couldn't fucking see
He
him.
knew I was in there, but he just couldn't find me.
He's a skinny little prick. He's hiding behind the leg of this table. It's like,
I managed to hide under a desk where there's no, you can see through it. But like, I jumped up and he was looking behind the curtain. His head was like, "What?"
I knew he was in here somewhere. I knew it. Fucker could hide behind a flagpole.
It's like Gus.
So at PAX, how did you escalate the Kung Shu?
Well, we have a video for that.
Should we just put the video out?
So I had like an Assassin's Creed moment where I just followed him through PAX to get him. And I just wanted you to fucking turn around, and I was doing everything in my power to get you to
He
fucking turn around.
started making coughing noises and then making ridiculous noises like,
Can I get a racist check on that? I mean, when I kick my shoe at Gavin, I go hiya. Is that?
I think you're probably okay. You're paying homage to 70s kung fu movies.
Yeah, racism doesn't count if it's complimentary.
Oh, okay, that's good.
his shoe
This
bounced.
is just stereotyping.
As long as you don't say, "That's my uncle."
Then we might be getting into a gray area.
But it's weird that we have I have this like "Hoya," the ninja noise. Why would ninjas ever make a noise? It's like you can't see them, so you have to have
Well, nobody
something to
does
indicate.
it like when they're creeping up on someone. I'm pretty sure that's just you.
So
If you're chopping a bit of wood in
I'm
half,
going to
maybe.
steal something from Reddit now.
I know exactly what you're about to talk
I
about.
saw an article on Reddit yesterday that said that ninjas wearing black. Well, ninjas never actually wore black. Real ninjas. I guess that's taken from the stage. Because stagehands would wear black when they would do plays about ninjas, and the ninja
Kabuki
characters
theater.
would also wear black to hide and blend in with the stagehands, and then they'd jump out and appear to the audience.
Oh, I see.
So, like, because of that, now everyone associates wearing all black with ninjas.
That's a discussion I was thinking about that ended up on Reddit the other day. Our discussion of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles having red.
Right, yeah, that ended up on Reddit. Yeah,
It's like today I learned that the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles all had red headbands. And they were very violent. It's like, well, I wonder where the fuck they found that.
and like have a weird connection to Daredevil, or
And have a weird connection to Daredevil and all that stuff. So, like, the whole discussion was like, hey, look what I learned today.
I'm amazed at how much
From somewhere.
I'm amazed at how much kid stuff came from really violent origins.
Any lullaby or any nursery rhyme is
Yeah.
fucking deadly.
I think the Mask, like the Mask, was made into a cartoon on Cartoon Network and it was a funny movie. But I think that the original comic of that is like about some serial killer who puts a mask on.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's really nasty. It's really dark.
You know, the Ring Around the Rosie is based on a chant from the bubonic plague. I mean,
Really?
it ends with ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
yeah, it's like they thought
Was
they
it
had to keep
tissue? Oh, yeah.
moving to prevent getting the plague or prevent getting sick or something like that, so they would sing that song.
Yeah, and it actually turned out kind of in a way to be true. Ring Around the Rosie, let me see, bubonic plague. Did you read, I also read, and I read this on Reddit,
Today I
that
learned from Reddit.
there is a certain population, Anglo-Saxon population from Europe, that has, I think it's like 10% of the population, is immune to HIV because of some resistance they inherited from
Yeah.
the Black Plague era.
Remember I told you the other day that I did that 23andMe site?
Right.
If you do the 23andMe genetic breakdown, it tells you if you are immune, if you have that immunity built into you.
Wow.
I do not.
So that became like a genetic thing that was passed down that was caught from the plague. Is that what you're saying?
But why HIV in particular? I mean, it's like, why not get a resistance to the flu or something? It's weird that a disease that doesn't even exist.
Yeah, exactly.
I was always amazed. Like, I didn't even know this until you told me, but AIDS is like a new thing. Like, it's not been around since
Weird,
the
you
beginning
didn't
of
know
time. No. Well, it was before I was born, I think.
Yeah, I never.
But I always just thought AIDS was like cancer and it had been around since the beginning of man.
No, I remember being a kid, like, and starting to hear about it for the first time, and it really taken off. Wow, that's crazy.
So was
that
it
you
just
didn't
not
know that.
around, or did people just not know about it? And it was around.
I don't know. I didn't know anything about it.
I think that, like, I think people first started recognizing it, and noticing it, like in '84. I want to say.
It was called the gay flu.
Yeah, when
It was. It was called the gay flu
when
when
it
it
first
came
came,
out.
when
Yeah.
people first learned about it.
I have to say, Snopes proved me wrong. That is false. The nursery rhyme Ring Around the Rosie is not a coded reference to the Black Plague.
Oh, I thought it was too.
I hate finding out stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that I've been...
Because I'm not going to unlearn it now.
I know.
I'm going to forget that you just disproved it on Snopes.
In fact, I'm more likely to bring it up again.
Yeah.
You know,
And then
like,
you'd be talking about how lemmings jump off cliffs.
exactly, like that kind of thing. What is something... Can you think of anything you've held for... that you thought was true for a long time, then you just found out, oh, that's not true?
There's so many things. I just can't.
You were the person to say
That
that.
didn't shock
Yeah.
me at all.
I think the one that I thought was absolutely true for a long period of time is that And I would tell people like, "Oh, this is so cool! I didn't know this." You'd be so surprised if you knew this. That glass is not a solid. That glass is a super cooled liquid that just moves very slowly, and that's why over time window panes get thicker at the bottom.
But that's not true, is it?
But it's not fucking true.
not true?
It's not true. It's not true. It's something that my science teacher told me. Not
wow.
true. Yeah, it's a common misconception.
Well, my mind has been blown.
For people who even know it, but it's an obscure common misconception, yeah. And there's stuff like that where you think you know something, and then it just turns out, no, you're just wrong. Not only do you not know a trivial fact, you're completely wrong about it. It always sucks to find that stuff out.
You're just a liar.
But how? If someone tells you a fact like that, will you immediately look it up to verify it before?
Yeah, the
telling
internet kind
someone
of
else?
fucks everything up like that. Like when you're at dinner and you're saying, who's the guy in the movie with Chaz Palminteri? Who is he? Those conversations? That conversation is gone now because everyone's like, hold on a second.
But
We just had a
how is that
discussion.
How is that
Yeah.
worse?
There was actually an episode of How I Met Your Mother that dealt with that, where it was like, now everything is on the internet, like bar stories and like bar debates and stuff like that. They're just gone because you can find out the answer now.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the origin of the Guinness Book of World Records or the World Book of Records? Is like it was a bar book, so when people were getting into arguments at the bar about like the world record for something, like Guinness sponsored,
That's funny.
and that's that.
that
Maybe
makes-
Snopes will prove me wrong. Maybe that's my common misconception, but that's what I had always
That's
heard
a good
about
story
the
to go
origin
along.
of the Guinness World Records.
So is Guinness related to Guinness?
I think they were originally. I don't think they are
Yeah.
anymore.
You ever seen the slogan? What the slogan is for Guinness in countries where advertising isn't so closely regulated?
It's what, have a Guinness or
No,
something about good time.
Guinness is good for you. It's their slogan here.
That's a brave slogan.
Guinness is, it's in all their advertisements and everything. It used to be on the label too. Guinness is good for you, and
Nice.
it's like just drink up. It's
Yeah.
got minerals.
It's like the old smoking ads in the 50s and 60s in the U.S.
It pretty much is. But I mean, there were bottles of Guinness that I saw while I was alive that had this stuff on it. I think some guy told me they came from Jamaica or something. You drink Guinness for strength.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
I remember like when they had college poster days. You could always go buy those in the lobby of Jester.
Yeah, who was it? Miles or Chris was just telling me about college poster days the other day. What a fucking great idea!
Oh, absolutely.
Some guy would just roll up with a bunch of posters in front of the dorm at the beginning of the semester. God, that guy must.
We should do
That
That
that.
guy must make
Why
bank.
don't-
That
Why
guy's
don't we do
responsible
that?
for thousands of Bob Marley posters and thousands of
I
that
love
posters
people
of
that
two
can
girls
identify
kissing.
like a good moment to sell something and then go and do it.
We
It's
can't do it
genius.
because that guy, like he's part of a company that has a monopoly on doing that here at UT.
Yeah.
Like if you want to sell posters, you have to go through.
Well, let's go
him.
somewhere else.
It's like the guys
Screw that guy. Why?
like the guys who sell water on the bridges in Las Vegas. Like they just pull up a cooler full of water and just sell it for $1. Have you ever seen those?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Okay.
I've never been under a bridge in Las Vegas.
No.
They have those pedestrian walkways now, so you don't have to like cross the street. Like
Oh,
if you're going from
yeah.
like city center to Hard
Subways.
Rock.
I was about to say, you have a lot better trips to Vegas than I do. You know, under a bridge drinking water. It's like the ultimate hangover. It's like I woke up, I'm under a bridge.
Someone was telling me, and I don't know if this is true, but someone was telling me that there's a service now in Vegas where if you wake up and you're hungover, there's like a bus that goes around the city, and you can. Okay, this sounds disgusting.
No, I've
You can get on the bus, and they'll give you an IV and
Yeah.
rehydrate you, and run saline through you to get you back on your feet.
Like a
and if you
detox
pay
bus.
extra money, they'll come to your hotel room and do the procedure in your hotel room, so you don't have to ride around in the bus.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't ever want to be in Vegas when somebody gets out a needle. I mean, that's the last thing that I ever
You know,
want to see.
speaking of Vegas, Carrie's turning 21 like in 2 weeks.
Carrie turns 21 in 2 weeks.
It's something like he's like early May. I know that. So
Does he
I
want to
have-
go to Vegas?
I
want to go to Vegas, and if that's an excuse to go to Vegas, let's go to Vegas.
Are you
I have
Vegas
a
out?
Great idea for a gift for Carrie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't say it on the podcast. I think
No,
you'll
I
listen
can't.
to the
But I'm going to
podcast.
show you it, and then you'll immediately get it.
Okay.
What I want to do, and so then you'll be, oh, that's a good
Is
idea.
it thebunnyranch.com?
Jeez.
I'm sure you're typing that. I just don't remember the URL.
Just Google search for it.
So is the plan to rent another house in Vegas for Carrie's birthday?
No, that's not the plan. Thanks for asking, man.
Yeah, ask Carrie. Carrie should know what the plan is.
Yeah. How was your house plan experiment?
So
Did
you
that
can
go
see,
well?
you can see what I would do with that, right?
I think so.
What I would do to change that,
Oh yeah, I totally get it.
right?
Yeah, I
okay.
can see that.
I want to do that.
That's
I wanna do
clever.
that. Yeah. Yeah, so we had the idea that since we move so many people when we go to events now, that instead of getting hotel rooms, we will get houses. Like it's on HomeAway, you can just go rent a house. Gavin and I are going to be in LA this week. We're renting a house while we go there because
Oh, is that what we're doing?
Are you really?
Yeah, we're renting a house. Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
That's
got-
awesome. Why are you
Supporting a
going to LA?
local Austin-based company.
I just like it. You feel like you have your own space and all that stuff, and I like it better. So when we went to Vegas for the IAW TV Awards, we rented it looked like a real world house. It
was
had
awesome.
like 8 bedrooms in it, and it was awesome. And it would have been a great idea on paper as well, if not for the fact that some of our guys are fucking prima donnas and would not stay in the house, and they wanted to stay in their own hotel room.
Why?
Gus.
Hey, you didn't stay in the house either. You stayed one night, then you moved.
I did stay in the house one night, but it's only because I can't get into it with having personal issues again, and I had to go stay downtown or stay on the strip. But yeah, and then Joel wouldn't stay there either.
Why didn't you wanna stay in the
You
house?
guys are against it. You guys are against
Yeah,
it.
I am actively.
That's
against
like
it.
sharing hotel rooms.
You have your own bedroom, though, right?
No, we have our own
I
bedrooms.
might share it with 1 or 2 other people, but once we get to that scale, it becomes an office type situation where I know that the people that we work with are just going to trash the place and they're not going to clean up and take care of it, and I'm going to have to be walking around like piles of shit.
I 100% agree with you.
And having to clean up after other people.
Is that how it turned out?
No, not so much. I mean, some pizza boxes, maybe some
Some
soda.
pizza boxes. There you go. That's
Shopping
trash.
cart.
I heard Matt had to clean every morning.
Cereal.
Brandon told me about that
shopping cart.
Yeah.
Well,
Apparently
cereal-
Carrie
well-
thought it would be funny to steal a shopping cart.
No. I thought it would be.
Oh, okay.
Well, we went to
That's
CVS.
hilarious.
That changes it.
We went to CVS. We needed to carry it back.
You have like 9 of you there. You have 2 hands. You can carry 4 bags.
So how did the...
We had like water and milk.
Personally, I would be interested to see what Monty could do with a shopping cart. I bet that could be a pretty amazing experiment.
What were you going to say, Gav?
I think you should come out more. Like, every time I've hung out with you recently, like even in London and stuff, it's been pretty fun. Like, you and Esther are a lot of
Gus
fun.
is a lot of fun,
Yeah.
but he never goes out.
No, he's
Yeah,
not. He's
I
not.
think the thing is, if you saw me constantly, you'd be like, "Oh, it's tiring."
But we've had good times, right?
We're good in
good
moderation.
times.
Gus, I'm gonna help you out here. You're not fun. You are no fun.
No, I know I'm not.
You are cynical and you are a stick in the mud.
I'm just rare. That's all.
Do you want to tell the story about what you did after I accidentally spilled water on you in that hotel room?
All I remember is I think I shoved you off the bed, jumped on you, and started beating you up. I started punching you in the face.
And also, I tried to then hide in the bathroom, and then you kicked the door in. Like, you kicked the crap out of the door, and it swung open. I think that was the same trip where you turned the shower head, so it was out.
So I was, I'm normally the first person who wakes up in the morning. When we go to events, I'm the first person up because I have to go and set the booth up. So I woke up in the morning, I took my shower, I was drying off, and I thought, I'm going to turn the shower head. So instead of facing into the shower, it's just facing into the bathroom. Because it turned all the way. And I left the shower pointed up, so it would come out of the head instead of the bottom. So I took my shower, I came out, I woke Gav up, I was like, hey, shower's free, jump in. He went in there and turned the water on, and it started, well, what happened? You were the one that was in there.
Yeah, it went all over me in the middle of the bathroom.
I imagine like a Charlie Chaplin style scene where you're like slipping on the floor. The water.
But it's that
spilling
thing
up
of like,
everywhere.
you do it and then you panic and it takes a long time to undo what you've just done. So I'm like scrambling to try and turn the shower off and it's like going all over the toilet and all over the floor.
Well, then also like if you just woke up to your brain's not connecting everything, so it's like what
Yeah,
What's
I
going on?
thought I'd broken something.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny though. Like when your body has a natural reaction to heat. Like if you can imagine being in the shower and you crank, and you make the shower blazingly hot. You do like the Spider-Man move, like get away from it. Same thing like when you put something super hot in your mouth. There's a way, and you don't even think about it. You can put something hot in your mouth, and you hold it in your mouth in a certain way so you don't burn yourself, and you instinctively know how to do that. Like
Yeah,
you balance it on your teeth at the end of your tongue. And you're
Have
like,
you ever had it though, where you get hit by hot water or cold water, but you don't know which one it is? You just know
Yes.
that it's like bad. Like, it's either really cold or really hot, but it's like your body is telling you to move before it's processing whether it's hot or cold. It's kind of
Your body just feels like a tingle.
yeah. It's like
So it's like it's either hot or cold. Get away.
you actually have for like that kind of thing for intense pain. That signal does not make its way all the way to your brain.
Isn't it
You
your
have, like,
wrist or
You have like
something?
cutoffs
Or
at
your
your
arm?
joints. Yeah, where it's like it's like if you get an intense thing, your elbow will pull it away.
That way, it's like a speedier response.
Your body is a pretty cool thing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where evolution. It's like people that had that lived longer and didn't burn their hands off. From picking up a hot. Burning yourself is one of those things too. It's like when you burn yourself, you're like, fuck. Just like cutting your joint on your thumb, you're like, here we go. I'm gonna have a burn on my hand.
I've been dealing with this for weeks now.
Or you cut a toe or something. God damn, I'm gonna have to walk on that for the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
The worst.
Why do we still have to sleep so much, and why do we have to eat so much? That's what pisses me off.
Gus,
We're
please
so much
explain this to
older
me.
now.
How did evolution not get rid of sleep?
I know.
How did that happen?
Like at night. Well, I guess like it's to keep you, since we don't have good night vision, to shut us down. But
Okay, listen.
it's like,
But you can't survive.
Whenever we have this discussion with people always say, well, you need to sleep. It's like, I get what you're saying because you're coming from a frame of reference where everything sleeps.
Not everything
But-
sleeps.
But going unconscious 8 hours a day is a bad trait. I mean, it's like, especially in a hunter, society, it's like you're gonna get fucking eaten.
Yeah, but everything else does that though, doesn't it? Like the whole animal kingdom sleeps, except for ants don't sleep.
So what happens? There should have been one thing that came along that didn't sleep and ate everything else.
Here's the thing. Why do you sleep so much at once? Why can't you break it up into like 30-minute chunks constantly? Like that's how cats sleep, right?
Yeah.
They'll like
Cat nap.
nap throughout the day.
Yeah, but
Like,
it adds
that
up to
seems
like
really-
18 hours.
Yeah, I mean that's way too much.
To go unconscious 8 hours a day makes no sense. It really makes no sense. It's like if we all had to stand on our heads for 2 hours a day, and we'd say like, well, you have to stand on your head because you got to get the blood back to your brain. It's like, we would say it's justified because we all do it every day, and it's been since the beginning of history. We do it. Going unconscious is not normal. It's like
Good point.
It's 8 hours a day that you
And
just
you think
fall
about it,
unconscious.
Now it's not a big deal because you have like a house, you lock the door, you get in, you have a secure place to sleep. But like way back, hunter-gatherer days, you're sleeping in a fucking cave. There's a bear is going to be looking for you. There might be a lion out there. Who knows? There's some animal that's trying to eat you, and you go unconscious for a third of the day.
And everything does
chemically-
it.
What chemically is your brain and body doing that you can't simulate artificially in like 1 hour?
Just rest. Like we just lay down. I can understand resting, maybe to.
Yeah, I hate the fact that like if it's 2 a.m. and I need to be up at 6 a.m. I'm like, I'm only gonna get 4 hours sleep tonight. But that should be fine. That should be enough. Why isn't it?
Like what recharges when you sleep? Like what is happening to your body that
I think there's a lot of stuff going on.
No,
But
there's a lot of stuff that happens.
I've been reading a lot about it because of the thing we're working on, but it's a lot of it's mental too. Where it's like your body. A lot of times, actually, physically, your body can do more work when you're sleeping than when you're just resting, sitting there. Like,
you haven't mentioned that on the podcast yet, have you?
We'll be doing some announcements around it, yeah. But there's a sleep-based project kind of that we're
We
doing.
mentioned it, PAX.
Yeah. It's we're moving from doing one-off shorts, sketch-based comedy, or just a short that's like a one-off piece, to doing more series because
Which
that's
is
what
how
we're
the
known
shorts
for.
originally started with Captain Dynamic.
That is true.
Rooster Teeth series says
Even excuse me, even like the season 1 shorts. I think that was the last time I wrote any shorts was season 1. Even those, we made sure to include elements
Yeah, they
from
were all
other shorts in the shorts, and at the end, it kind of wrapped them all up. But yeah, somehow we got away from that and got into
That was great.
The one-off stuff.
My favorite short of all time is when you're stealing Gus's beard.
God, we got so many people asking us how we did that.
It's so good. It's like executed perfectly. I love it.
I mean, it was one of those things where it's like people thought we filmed it over 8 months. It didn't make any sense to them at all. But so no, the sleep thing, I don't get. It's also like when you're there at 2 a.m, you all say, "I'm awake." You're laying in bed, so you're completely resting in a dark room, and but you're not asleep. That's somehow different. Being asleep is a different level of rest than just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, you can't have conscious rest.
Like I gotta fall asleep, but why? I mean, why isn't just sitting there staring at the ceiling?
Also,
why can't achieve the same thing?
Why can't I just activate it whenever I want? Why do I have to try and go
Bernie
to sleep?
can.
Bernie doesn't have that problem.
So lucky.
Or you can fall asleep right now if you wanted.
It takes me like an hour to get sleep.
I
my God,
never
how
fall
awful.
asleep these days.
Last time Jay or Dan came in town, we had the experiment where I put my head down on my desk and we just slept in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we acted like we were having a meeting and we were napping.
That was a very productive meeting.
Sounds very intimate.
I got to be the big spoon.
So I can't wait for the pill or the injection or whatever we can take that will replace sleep.
I just want to be able to save the feeling that I have every morning of tired, want to hit the snooze button. I want to apply that to every night, so
I
I'm just
know.
not up.
But
I want to be able to do that. That's
Also,
what
sleep sort of resets your day too. Like it kind of begins the next day, or it feels like it begins.
have
the
you?
next
It's a
day.
good point. It's like sets a reference of time.
Yeah,
but
like
do you ever,
if you never slept, like at what point would it feel like okay?
You would
the
have
next day?
something else. That's what I'm saying. You can't.
No, I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's.
but
I'm not
actually-
saying it's the best
I
solution.
actually like. Have you ever been so tired that you can't wait to go to sleep, and when you get into bed, it's like the best thing.
Oh, yeah,
to ever
That's
happen.
like that's like every day.
I sometimes just get so happy in bed, just like
As,
wriggle
as
around.
someone
and then
who
go to
hasn't
sleep.
slept much for the last 7 years, I can tell you sleep is pretty important.
So how much sleep do you get usually per 24 hours?
I
Or do you not work on
I
that
had to
cycle?
take pills these days to actually get more than like 3 hours sleep.
Well, you sound wide awake.
Well, I'm about to go to bed right now.
Yeah, this is Monty's night.
Monty is sleeping right now. Actually,
It's almost bedtime. For
I want to
me.
just follow Monty around for a week.
It's not that interesting.
Not much
We're-
of that.
we're-
Fascinating.
We're pretty overrated.
So do you have like a set sleep schedule that you follow? Is it different than a 24-hour schedule, or do you just offset and sleep right now instead of sleeping at night?
Whatever amount of time I can see the least amount of people.
I like your ideas. I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
You sound like such a barrel of laughs.
did you see the XKCD where the guy came up with a 30-hour day, a 6-day week, and it was like where you could sleep for 10 hours and then be awake for 20 hours? And it was like it just resets.
That sounds
every
pretty
day.
good.
So it's like obviously day and night will change as your week progresses, but you get more sleep, but you're awake longer.
It sounds complicated in terms of like arranging
get
lunch.
more
though. Do
sleep
you want to have night lunch or day
And
lunch?
you're awake longer.
Yeah, you're awake for 20 hours and you sleep for 10 hours. So I mean, right now, a typical
But if
day.
you average it out over the week.
If you average out over the week, you're going to get roughly the same amount.
Okay.
The only thing I try to schedule into my waking up is when Starbucks closes. Just so I can get my coffee.
Gotcha. What time do they close?
Monday through Saturday, 11 p.m. Sundays, 10 p.m.
Starbucks is open till 11.
Wow.
Yeah, and they
Why
open
don't you
up
just
at
buy a
6.
load of coffee in bulk and just make it yourself?
Because it sucks.
It's less
not
efficient. It's less efficient for money to make
Oh
coffee.
yeah, because you're like a sheer efficiency machine.
Sheer efficiency, man.
like pressing less buttons on a microwave.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
You made your first appearance in an animated adventure the other week.
Yeah.
If you were unhappy with
pretty cool.
it, Jordan's right next to you.
Feel free to punch somebody.
It was,
him a lemon punch.
I'm pretty impressed with Jordan's progress as an animator. I approve.
Jordan's like,
Congratulations, Jordan.
Jordan's not going to kill me. Thank Christ. You do realize that there's going to be a lot of lemons coming to you at conventions.
Yeah,
from now
what's
on.
up with that?
A lot
That
of
was
people
that.
bringing
I
lemons
guarantee
to
you that was like a one-off thing.
No, it's gonna be a thing
I
now.
have very few Zen moments where I just perform very well. But it just happens randomly.
Yeah.
You ever get those spider sense moments sometimes where you just do something that you surprise yourself with?
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
just lucky enough to have it on tape.
Yeah.
And it's also great because you don't have enough time. Like, you do something amazing like that, you don't have time to react yourself. So it looks like you're just walking it off. Like, when you drop something with one hand and catch it with the other.
Yeah.
And then you just keep walking. You're like,
But I've
that was
actually done
badass.
stuff
That
where-
happens to me a few times a year where I just catch something and you're like, what the hell just happened? And then everyone's there to see it. One time, a few years ago, my girlfriend and I were just walking to an EB, electronics boutique, and I don't know, what is it about that? Did you process everything in the room, maybe the sound, the position and stuff? There was this guy up on a ladder just moving some boxes around, and we're walking around, and somehow I knew to put my hand straight up in the air, and I caught a box without looking. It was like a giant steering wheel, and I just kept it from falling on my girlfriend. And all it looked like was I just put my hand up, caught the box, and just handed it back to the guy and walked away.
I was sitting at dinner
boss.
during New York Comic Con, and there was a fork to my right, and I put my hand down, and the fork went flying across me to my left. It was going to hit someone, so I hit it. It was my left hand. I just reached out and grabbed it in midair, and it was perfectly in my hand, like I was ready to eat. And everyone at the table was like, "What the fuck?"
You should have just started eating.
No big deal.
I love it when you do something that's just incredibly impressive and then you milk it for all it's worth by walking off as though it's going to happen. I was once about to... we don't have Netflix in the UK, well we do now, but we had a thing called Love Film where you get the discs through the mail and stuff. And I was walking with my friend Dan, and I just frisbeed the disc in the pouch. It just went across the street, straight into the mailbox. So I was walking up, I was like, I wonder if I could get it from here. I didn't tell Dan about it. I was just like he was mid-sentence. I just went, and it just went in, and he just stopped dead with his mouth hanging open. I was just like,
So
"Come on, let's
that's
go." I just carried on. It's like,
I'm surprised you didn't throw it and it didn't come back and hit you.
that's not. It wasn't 45 degrees.
So a disc,
I've never been able to
DVD
recreate
you
that.
can throw, but a frisbee you can't.
No,
I
apparently,
don't
yeah.
think it's 45 degrees. See, I learned
That's-
all my
45 degrees will do it.
I learned all my
45
angles
degrees, 'cause
from track and field. Did you ever play track and
Oh, I
field?
played the shit out of track and field.
And you always want to throw at 45 degrees. 'Cause
Yeah.
That was the perfect way to throw the javelin. And what else is there?
the
discus?
shot put?
Shot
Oh,
put, that's what it is. Yeah, you got it.
Well,
And
those
the
won't
hammer.
come back to you.
Yeah, the hammer.
What's that?
Those won't come back at you, though.
Thank God the javelin came back at you.
I've seen some terrible videos on the internet.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
footage of the woman who gets hit by the javelin?
I've seen a woman. I've seen the spotter. I've seen tons of people getting impaled by
It's probably the
javelins.
same one you see. I've seen one where it just goes straight into the guy's arm and he just
Pulls it out. And he throws the flag. Have you seen that one? There's a guy who's supposed to see where the javelin lands. It lands in him, and before he pulls it out, he throws the flag on the ground to mark it, and then pulls it out.
he should have just put the flag on his head. That would've been-
I don't know if I want to watch this.
Is this gruesome?
Oh, Jesus.
What the hell is that?
Okay, so javelins throw.
Javelin. Oh no.
Oh, God.
And dead.
Oh!
Did someone die?
Oh, it's look at his rib. Oh no, fuck that.
All right, before clicking that in the link dump, just don't.
Yeah, NSFL.
Guy gets stabbed by
Man,
a
there's been a
javelin.
lot of gruesome stuff on Reddit lately.
There has been.
People
I
tag
can't-
stuff as not safe for work, and I'll click on it because I want to see some boobs or whatever.
Exactly.
And I've seen some fucking gross stuff
Yeah.
They need a new tag for that.
I refuse to.
Well, it's
click on it.
NSFL, not safe for lunch. That's the tag for that.
geez.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was not safe for life.
Yeah, that's what I thought when you said that just
I
there.
thought it was life as well.
Oh, I thought it was like lunch because
I-
you look at it and vomit.
I've seen some disgusting, awful shit on Reddit now.
I don't wanna
And,
see it.
I've also seen some
I'm not
wonderful
even
stuff
going to
on
mention it 'cause
Reddit.
I don't want.
Yeah, if you
I don't
mention it, then
want
it'll
to
have to be
look it
linked, and then I'll have to click it.
Have you ever misunderstood an internet acronym for a long period of time?
Like lol.
FTW.
Yes.
For the win?
For the win.
For the longest time, my friend at their previous tech job, he thought FTW meant fuck the world. Like, apparently that was the abbreviation in punk or something like that, and he thought it meant fuck the world. And so he constantly thought when people were excited and they were saying, dude, I just fucking ate 20 chicken McNuggets. Fuck the world.
Stick it to the man.
Yeah, so let me see. I'll look up NFSL. No,
NSFL. Like not safe for work, but not safe for lunch.
Not safe for life is the first
Life.
thing that comes up. Yep. I've never
Son
heard
of a
not safe
bitch.
for lunch. But it makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes
yeah.
sense why you think that. Sure.
But so yeah, they need a new tag or they need a new subreddit or something needs to happen.
No,
don't know- I
they
don't know-
need another tag for that.
I
With a
don't-
little skull and crossbones.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why,
actually, if
but
you-
there's been a big change. I feel like in the last 2 weeks, and now there's tons of gore.
Why is all that stuff coming up?
Why,
And,
why
like,
do people want to watch that?
vote up the boob
Oh, look
stuff?
at that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
So you know, it's funny you say the skull and crossbones. If you go to r/WTF, it's more like that site that will not be named that has more gore and stuff. And for stuff where it's like dead bodies, they actually have a skull and crossbones.
I don't know why anyone actively wants to go and look at that stuff.
Yeah. You
That's disgusting.
No, you don't want to do
No.
that stuff.
I just don't use Reddit.
No, there was one video in particular that someone sent me forever ago, and it's like ruined me for that kind of stuff. And I'm not even going to mention what it is, but it was one of those things where like you see it, and it's like, yep, that'll haunt me for fucking.
I saw
life.
something gross when I was walking through the streets of San Francisco last week. I was walking to a meeting, and I was waiting at a light. And there was like a motorcycle parked on the curb right next to me. And I was like, oh, there's a motorcycle. Oh, there's a dude sitting right next to the motorcycle. Oh, that dude's taking a shit on the street right next to the motorcycle. So that dude just like crapping in the street right there. I was like, awesome.
Wow.
Ugh. We saw a pretty bad accident last night, Jordan. There was a car
Yeah.
on its side,
Oh wow.
just on 35.
Just hanging out on
I don't
the
know,
side.
how do you do that? How does a car get like that? It's crazy.
You roll it.
Yeah. But it's just like
how you do it?
everyone's going in the same direction.
Yeah, but if you swerve,
Yeah, I do that. I do that way too much. Where it's like I come across an accident and go, "What?
Yeah,
angle
like
did this
how
car come
did
from?"
you do that?
Yeah, I try to figure out which car, like in an intersection, which car was coming from this way and which car was coming from that way. I just naturally try to like rebuild that in my head.
yeah,
Last night we almost died also because Brandon was driving
that's all you have to say.
and he was switching lanes and someone honked and he wasn't looking. He just he gave
It was
out this
just a
big
girl
old
just
yelp. He
yelp.
went-
It was
he
just
went,
like swerve the car.
swerved and like hit all the switches on his steering wheel and like the windshield wipers were going. And he was freaking out.
When I was returning my rental car, when I was coming back from San Francisco, I was turning into the airport, and I was making a left-hand turn. I didn't realize that the lane on my right also made a left-hand turn. So I made a left-hand turn, and I was going a little wide, and I almost hit someone on my right. And the guy like honks at me and like giving me the mad dog, like staring me down. I'm like, "Oh, sorry, guy, sorry." And we both like keep driving, and the guy like really was intently staring at me for like 30 seconds, like driving along. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of an asshole." And it turns out we're both returning cars at the exact same place. Like he's like in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, great!"
Like, I'm just gonna sit
He
here.
did that thing where like he didn't look at me, he didn't acknowledge me the whole time.
I love the just added aggression people get when they're protected by the confines of their car.
Yeah,
Very true.
Then he like ran off and got on the train before I did, so
Yep.
he wasn't in the same
Do you,
car.
ever, do you ever feel like you can read like someone's body language by the way they drive? Like you see that
You can
like,
tell if someone's a bully by the way they drive.
I just hate people who dart in and out of traffic. I
Yeah.
just hate that.
Sometimes I give Gav a ride home, and we do this thing where when we're driving down 35, we'll see a car up in front of us, and we try to guess what the person who's driving it looks like.
Gus is very good. He's very accurate. He
I
can just tell by the back of a car, like sex, race, class.
Yeah, you can tell a lot just by looking at the back
Like,
of the car. I can
they're
normally
a mage
guess.
or a warrior.
Such a
I
nerd.
can take a pretty good guess at who's driving it.
I don't want to cross into like the racism part of the podcast.
Yeah, we
but
shouldn't.
Let's get into the
there's a
sexism
game
part.
you can play in LA, which is someone who's driving really bad.
Go on.
Go on.
an Asian woman.
Yeah, are they old? Are they a woman? Or are they Asian? Or are they all three?
Monty, you have any comments about that?
No,
Man.
it's totally true.
Monty's one of the people that you live in the apartment complex very close to our office, and You still drive to work every
Hey, look,
single day.
If you
I could hit your building with a rock
you
from
would do it
our-
too, because like if you're like, all right, I want to go to lunch. Oh fuck, I got to go get my car.
He also goes to Starbucks before he comes in. He said,
I guess so.
which is not walking.
But we've got like
A
5
lot
or
of
6
people live across
now.
the street,
Yeah.
and they all drive
They
to
all
work.
fucking drive. No, we literally we have filled our lot, and now we're spilling over into
It's
another
true.
lot.
It's ridiculous. Because
Why should you get to drive if they don't get to drive? I mean, what's
So
the deal?
I live more than 400 feet away from the office.
So what? Doesn't make a difference.
Yes, it does.
So they shouldn't be able to drive to work because they live close to work?
Yes.
Why
They
don't
should
ride
be able
bikes?
to.
We have a perfectly good bike rack.
It's-
why,
There you go.
why don't we take advantage of that?
It's,
so
it's not
good,
like
so
it's a
good.
straight line between here and that apartment either. There's like a gate that's
There
down-
are 2
there's-
turns you have to
There's a
make.
gate down the street, and it's like, oh, do I want to go get lunch or do I want to get coffee or something like that? And it's like
Michael walks to work.
people do drive a lot there.
he doesn't have a car.
So he still walks.
Does he have a
doesn't have a
license?
choice.
Does he have a license?
He has a Jersey license. He doesn't have a Texas license yet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Like, you don't have a license, Gavin.
No. I'll get one.
Somebody else doesn't have a license that we know.
Barbara got one.
But the thing is, I'm so used to walk. Like in my old town, I used to walk everywhere, even if it was like 40 minutes away.
I used to walk everywhere too.
Because I like walking, but now I'm getting kind of flabby from all the driving. So I just have to take walks now. I walk to nowhere, which is something I never used to do.
I imagine where you used to live was probably a lot more walkable than living here.
Yeah, I mean everything's so spread apart here. I could get anywhere like by bus or by walking.
Like when we visit San Francisco, I love San Francisco because you can walk everywhere pretty much. I mean, there's like so much cool stuff all in like the central location. That's neat. But like Texas, just everything's spread out. So you
I bet if you lived in downtown Austin, you would not need it. Or you could use, they have that Cars to Go, where you basically
Oh, yeah.
pay to
Those little
steal
smart
cars.
cars.
I
Yeah.
want to register for that. That seems like a cool idea.
Seems like a badass idea.
I wonder what the cost to be part of that is.
I want to get
It's
the...
like if they have like an iPhone app. It's like, oh, I need a car. Let me look at my app. No, there's a car 2 blocks away. I'm going to go walk over there and take
Yeah,
that
that's cool.
car.
I want to see a whole city based with just those cars. A city where nobody owns their own car, and it's just like public cars.
yeah?
It'd be great.
Let me see here. Austin.
like a cool
This is
idea.
Austin car sharing. It's probably called Zipcar, I think, other places.
Yeah, I know it's Zipcar in San Francisco. But the cars to go. But
That's just Austin. Cars to Go is just Austin, apparently.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. They the city has, or Cars to Go, I guess, has a bunch of smart cars that they paint white and blue, and they just parked all around the city.
and they have special parking too. Like there are certain areas you can park on the street only if you're driving one of those cars.
Right. And there's certain areas where they can park, like instead of parallel parking, they back into the space.
Yeah, yeah.
And so instead of parking in one direction, they park 90 degrees offset.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
And they have, special parking is great. I love when you see go downtown and there's special parking. Like, when I go to places, valet parking only on the fucking street.
Yeah.
And they cover up the
Yeah.
meters. And
I
it's
want
like,
to fucking punch someone.
I definitely do.
Don't trust Bernie with valet parking
Why?
because you steal the wrong car.
Oh, that is true. I did. I have a bad thing with rental cars and taking other people's rental cars. Real quick, though, before you go into that. Registration fee is $35 plus tax. Per minute, it's 35 cents plus tax per minute. Per hour maximum is $12.99. So when you're in the car using it,
Yeah.
it's $12.99. And then per day maximum is $65.
Oh, fuck yeah. Is it $35 the registration fee? Is that one time or is that yearly? Does it say?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, $35.
God, and if you don't use it, you don't pay beyond that. Fuck, I'm all about that.
Up to 24 hours, no more.
So
okay.
did
the
it
more
leave,
time
like,
you drive, the cheaper
the
it gets.
keys in there or something? Or
Yeah, it's like the keys are locked in like the glove compartment or something, and it's one of those things where you need to put a code in and you generate the code off your smartphone.
oh, okay.
It's like that kind of deal.
That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So you're only paying for the time you're driving it, or you're paying for the time that you reserve it?
It can work either way. So like if let's say you drive it somewhere, if you park it, you can keep the car as yours and no one else can take it, or you can check the car back in to where it's not safe for you. So you might lose it, but it might still be there.
Yeah, see, that would suck if you're like, way out in the middle of like East Austin
Yeah,
or something.
But then you
your
would
car.
keep it. You wouldn't
Yeah, I guess so.
release it. You'd keep it so that way
Okay.
it's there waiting for you.
So you hold your member card up to the card reader on the windshield, and the vehicle opens. Then you enter your PIN, and you drive off. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do this. Except then you're driving a blue and white smart car. I don't see them. It's weird. I see them parked all the time. I never see them on the road.
I've seen them on the road.
Which would make sense, because people who would subscribe to that then would not drive all that much.
Right.
It kind of makes sense.
I feel like they're all over my neighborhood. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Monty got a little push scooter. So when you guys were talking about when Michael went down the stairs on, I seriously thought about for a couple minutes is getting him a Segway, just because I'd love to see what Monty would do on a Segway.
Oh, God.
That would just seem like...
We had a lot of fun. Was it the first PAX ever?
I had those pictures. Wired is doing a story on us.
Nice.
They're interviewing you this week, right, Gus? For it. And so I went and pulled the pictures of us at the very first PAX and our Segway bike gang.
Yeah,
that we made.
I don't know what we did. I guess after PAX was over, we stayed an extra day and went and rented a bunch of Segways. It was you, Matt, Jeff, Dan, Jason, and me.
And Joel.
And Joel. And we'd all just went around having
You
fun
put
on
some
Segways.
you put some videos of that up in back in the day. There's one of I think Jeff's just spinning in a circle and
Yeah.
everyone's just like running around looking at each
Yeah,
other.
we were trying to get it on one wheel. And doing everything they said don't do, we were doing.
It's just such a tragic story. The Segway, the guy who invented it,
Well, why is it a tragic story?
he killed himself with a Segway.
Oh, no. That's not the guy who invented it.
Oh.
That was an executive who worked for Segway
Oh, is
in Europe. Yeah, drove off like a cliff on a Segway.
I thought he was the owner
No,
of
the,
Segway.
the owner was Dean Kamen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's gone on. He's doing like prosthetic limbs and stuff now, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, like that's his big thing. He's
Aren't
like,
they meant to be like really hard to fall off, or is that a myth? Can you easily fall off?
Oh,
You can fall off.
You can fall off. Yeah.
As soon as you turn it, you can easily fall off. I dumped mine over. Yeah.
how long does it take for you to get your balance on those things?
It's instant.
Really?
It really totally makes sense. Listen, you look like a freaking dork on the thing. They are a blast.
Yeah, it might. I'd say it takes like 5 or 10 seconds.
Are they
Okay.
are they
Like,
too
what-
expensive
what-
to?
We had them for like an hour. By the end of the hour, we were jumping them, and we were standing on them backwards and like trying to do them like backwards this way. That's it. They're great.
Are they tough, or if you crash them into each other, do they break?
We never crashed them into one another, but we like jumped them over curbs and stuff like that, and they were fine. But then again, we got to turn them in after an hour and didn't have to deal with the repairs. So
Yeah,
I would never.
They give you like multiple keys. Remember that?
Yes.
They give you one key that like start with this. It like limits you to 5 miles an hour or something. Never use the red key. So of course the first thing we did was like took that key out, put the red key in because the red key lets you go up to like 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
They actually say never use the red key.
Yeah, they say never use the red key.
Why do they?
Then they give it to you.
You're like, I'm going to use the red key. But no, it was a lot of fun.
When I worked at Disney World, we have like they have these electric scooters, like I think ECV is what they're called, but they're like these little things that like older people or larger people will rent, so they don't have to walk all day. And they come with keys, and the same sort of deal where they have like a maintenance key, which goes like 5 times faster. And we figured out there was actually like a pin you could pull out of one of the rental strollers that fit perfectly. And so you could take that and put it into the key thing. And so like when we'd be empty or we'd be clear, we'd get those things, just drive around in circles and race them and stuff, and do the same sort of deal, try to jump them off curbs and things like that, and try not to break them. But we always ended up breaking them. It was fun.
I gotta say, I never thought the Segway was going to take off and become like everyone was going to have one. But I am surprised at how few of them you see.
Yeah.
On the Segway tours through Austin.
But
There
that's
are.
all you see are Segway tours. That's
Yeah,
the only time
feel
I
like
ever see.
The
a
only
Segway.
time I ever see them is on like tour groups and also like security at like a mall
Right.
or a
But you
shopping
can't
center.
you can't
Yeah,
go on the road,
Wozniak,
can you?
right?
Well, they're not road legal.
No, they're not road legal.
No, they're not. They don't go that fast. No.
I think they cap out at 15 miles an hour. I want to say.
They're just meant to replace like people walking. Like you're supposed to be able to see them on sidewalks.
Yeah,
I mean-
but I think some cities have outlawed them on sidewalks.
Which kind of
People
hurts.
hit, yeah.
You can't take it on the street and you can't take it on the sidewalk.
Did you see on Reddit this weekend the tube technology that can get you from New York City to Los Angeles in 45 minutes?
What?
It's maglev technology where they want to make like tubes where essentially you get into a tube and they put your car in, and then they don't have to worry about friction, so they can literally send you as fast as they can. And
What?
And so like
Why-
supposedly
why
these
is there
things
no
feel
friction?
like 6,000 kilometers an hour or something like that. Something crazy. They say like if they like theoretically they could you could circumnavigate the globe in like 6 hours.
The human body can't take that.
No, it has something to do with like
Well,
if
it
you're
could surely. If it just can't take the acceleration.
yeah,
If
it's,
it's a
it,
slow
it doesn't
acceleration,
go
you have to
0 to
take it.
6,000. It's a slow build up to it. So you're always in sort of like a plane. I mean, you don't feel like you're going 500 miles an hour in a plane. But
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
people orbiting the planet in space are going like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
Tens
it's one of
of
those things
thousands
where
of
it
miles per
builds
hour.
slowly, where you feel a little bit, but then once it hits top speed, it just feels like natural.
You only,
And so-
you can only feel acceleration. You can't feel speed.
Yeah, but anyway, it's like so the actual you don't have to build as like the tracks aren't as it's not like a highway or anything where you have to maintain and everything. But anyway, it's
I don't want to be the guy who has to clean up after that.
I was just gonna say I thought of a great business. I want to get a business as the guy who mops out the tubes when people disintegrate down there.
Yeah, that wouldn't work though, because you'd be like breaking the sound barrier and stuff, wouldn't you?
well, I don't know. I like, but that was,
Yeah, that
it
is
was on
faster
Reddit.
than the sound barrier.
Yeah,
So-
6,000 kilometers an hour. Yeah,
So maybe
It's a little faster.
it would. There's no sound underground though. So, God, anything where you get in a tube and fly, I
So-
would do it. Would you, Gavin? Would you use a teleporter if they told you it existed and the government had tested it?
I would use it right now.
You would.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Why?
I wouldn't. I'd be the guy who just doesn't do it. I'd take the plane. I don't know. I just
you.
I wouldn't have any confidence.
because he wants his miles.
I wouldn't have any confidence.
miles on the teleport.
It's like you mentioned, what are your miles on the teleport? It's like you went 0.5 feet.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
And that's it.
shit.
But it's like I wouldn't have any confidence that I would go in the source teleporter, end up in the destination teleporter, and I'd be the same person.
Yeah.
Or there
Or
would be
in the
two
same
of you
time
like
period, you could have
that
gone
Hugh
forward or
Jackman
backwards in
movie.
time.
No, like
What? That Hugh Jackman movie.
What's a
where,
Hugh Jackman movie?
The Prestige.
Prestige? Where
The
the
Christopher Nolan movie.
where he kept
Oh, what?
Like I think somebody would come out the other side who's just like me and says, "Yeah, no, I'm."
Yeah, but you
We
wouldn't.
did some script treatments years ago, and I had like some crazy ideas about teleporters that I was like pitching around at the time that we never did anything.
Oh, yeah,
with.
I remember that.
And I saw teleporters. The idea of teleporters freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah, but if you knew the science of it and you knew like where all your atoms were
Are
going
you
and how
sure
they're
you're telling me you're going to learn the science of how a teleporter works? You are going to learn quantum mechanics and figure out like the spin on all of the electrons in your body.
Hey,
you're going to figure that out, and then you'll get in the teleporter.
No, what is the science of Coca-Cola? Since you drink that, and
What
you
is
use
the
that
science
as
of getting on a plane?
I don't drink Coca-Cola, so screw you.
Be right back.
Good for you, Gavin.
Well, we're wrapping up here pretty soon, anyway.
Where are you going, Jack?
I gotta call. All right.
Man, that phone
I've never
rings.
actually-
That phone rings. He is out the fucking door.
I have
You noticed
never
that about
had a Coke.
Coke is shit.
him? Have you noticed that about Jack, Gavin? Is that phone rings? It doesn't matter what he's doing. He could be like a firefighter in a
the
burning
thing,
building and be like,
that's my
guys, I
thing
gotta step out and take
with
this.
phones is that I will never let a phone call.
Sorry,
There
guys.
goes Bernie's phone. At least you silenced it this
But to
week.
me, like someone ringing me is just an alert that they want to talk to me. It doesn't mean I have to take it then.
Yeah, one of the
Like-
things that annoys me from a customer service perspective is when I'm waiting in line to deal with someone. Like, let's say, I don't know, talk to someone at a register, right? Or at a store. I'm waiting in line, my turn comes up, and then, like, as soon as I walk up, the phone rings, they pick up the phone and deal with that person.
Yeah.
It's like, I was here waiting first.
Screw you.
What if
It's
I
the
picked
same-
up the phone in line and called? Could I skip in front of everyone? Hotel check-in. That's where it pisses me off the most. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, fuck you. Tell them to wait.
Yeah, or just call them back.
Yeah. I hate that.
Like if I'm with someone and I'm talking to them and the phone rings and it's like their mum or someone, don't answer it. I'll call them later. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
If someone answers the phone and I'm there, I'm just gonna leave.
I'm getting to the point where voice communication is like so far down the list.
I'm
I
also-
want to get back to where it's more important to be able to talk to people on the phone.
I just hate voicemails as well because voicemails are so pointless. Every voicemail I get is, "Hi, Gavin. It's Dave. It's 2 p.m. on Tuesday. Give me a ring back."
It's
I've got
everything
a
your
missed
phone
call.
tells
I've got a
you.
missed call that says all of those things.
I'll agree
everything
with that
your
for the
phone
most
tells
part.
you.
Sometimes the phone doesn't show missed calls. Like for some reason, I'm not sure why, but when Joel calls me, my phone usually does not ring. I will not get a missed call from Joel. I will just get a voicemail from Joel.
What is that setting? How do I how do I
So
get
I
that?
think Joel must think I'm ignoring him or avoiding him or something, but my phone never rings when Joel calls me. And it never says missed call Joel. It just says Joel Heyman, voicemail. Like, what?
Oh, but you can send voicemail without ringing someone though. Maybe he just does that.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe he doesn't want to talk to you live. He just wants to talk to you.
Jerry Seinfeld does a very great bit about that. About now, it's like back in his day, it was answering machines. But he's like, now that technology exists, I don't want to talk to people. You call somebody and they answer, you're like, oh, yeah, I was just gonna leave you a message. I didn't want to speak to you.
You just blew my mind. I am gonna just voicemail people from now on if I
Yeah,
can call
but
them.
the people don't check them. I don't check voicemail.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad about
I
that,
know
too.
Gus
How do you
hates
send a
talking on
voicemail?
phones.
How do
Oh,
I
I hate
how do I send a voicemail?
Maybe you can't.
Oh, God.
I know you can in England. I used to do it.
How do you do it? Tell me how you did it in England.
You dial up your voicemail and then send it to someone.
You dial your own voicemail.
Yeah, and then you record it and then you send it to someone.
That's a possibility, Gavin. That might actually work. I'm going to try that right now.
I check my voicemail just to get rid of the icon.
Yeah,
honestly.
see,
yeah,
listen to
Yeah,
it.
it
I click
annoys me.
play and I scroll to the end, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I know, I hit their name and then just hit delete. That's what I just did right now. All right, so let me see here. So I'm in my voicemail.
We're gonna wrap up after we find out.
I
whether
can't
or
do
not you
this.
can
I guess I could call my own phone number. Gavin, you've never done this. What are you talking about? You call your own voicemail, and when you enter a PIN?
What? No, because it's
Or he just tried to put the phone to his headphone and
that
made
little
it
tap
very
was him
satisfying.
banging his phone into his headphones.
All right, that was pretty dumb. That was pretty dumb.
Were you guys going for a while before I
I have been a little under the weather today, by the way. I don't know if you guys have noticed
You look
that.
really sad. I don't know why.
I don't know, I'm just under the weather a little bit today.
Do you need cheering up?
No, I'm okay. I'm just under the weather. I mean, I'm sick.
Everyone's been getting sick.
People, it's such a big deal when people get
Barbara's
sick.
coughing and she's sitting next
Why
to
is
me on the
everyone
plane.
sick?
Why is everyone so weak?
It was from PAX. I don't know. I avoided it forever. I think this might actually be allergies because I did a thing where like I cleared out behind my house a ton of vegetation. Just like there's this greenbelt area.
There's so much coughing going on in the studio right now. I don't know what's going on. Why? It's a bunch of wimps.
It's gross.
I agree.
All right, well,
Bunch of babies.
let's wrap this up. So we just crossed our billionth view. Very important.
Oh, I do want to mention one thing. Last week I played a clip of Bernie slamming into the side of a car as he was trying to jump in. That is now online on the internet, redroosterteeth.com, at roosterteeth.com. And it's also got Gus pretending to be a meerkat behind the...
I wasn't pretending to be a meerkat. I don't know where that came from.
I gotta say that video was a little hyped up for me. I thought it would be better.
What, Bernie jumping into the
It
car?
was overrated.
No, the Meerkat one. Because the podcast, you're like, it's the best video
Yeah,
ever.
the meerkat thing was not. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
okay. Nobody got scared. I like scary videos.
Although I
The girl at the end
did,
did.
I did like the fact that it drew people to the booth.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was.
Did you actually make a sale from
Oh,
it?
we mean every person.
Yeah,
Almost every person.
that
I'm
turned and saw Gus was like, oh, check this out.
scared. Yeah.
Genius.
Why do some battery covers on some devices have a screw where you have to unscrew it to get to the batteries
So your batteries don't fly out when you drop it.
Yeah, but why not have a latch?
or
They-
something?
They don't work.
Like, and why some things? Like, why? I mean, I get like with kids' toys because they don't want the kids pulling the batteries out or whatever. But I want that to stop.
Yeah,
I want
me
it to
too.
go away. I also I want battery covers to be like attached by a tether to the device.
Do you not ever open or like drop a remote control and the batteries just go everywhere?
My remote controls don't have screws, so it's not an example that I could use.
What?
You have a remote control that has a screw on the battery cover?
No.
No, he means like if it has a latch, then it would pop open from the force of
Yeah,
dropping.
and batteries go flying everywhere.
I'd rather deal with that, honestly. I'd rather deal with the
You gotta
exception.
deal with that. Like,
I'm an adult.
see-
I don't drop shit. I'm not 6 years old.
And if I do, that's on me. So it's like, why go through every time I have to put the batteries in? I have to make that a hassle so that just in case I drop it, it won't be a hassle.
what do you want it to be then? A pin code?
No, I want it to be the
Still a
fucking latch and just get to the batteries like
yeah,
a fucking
I think
human.
I've owned my remote 3 years now. I think I've dropped it once.
What, are you a child?
No, I was drunk.
But it's like it's weird because it's like the British mentality is like, let's put a safety mechanism in place that we all have to go through just so we can avoid the unfortunate situation where I dropped a remote and now the batteries fell out.
Well, some stuff makes sense though. Like the wired controls on Xbox is the fact they come apart.
You think it makes sense that if I want to get to the batteries, I have to get a Phillips head screwdriver out, a miniature Phillips head screwdriver, and unscrew
No,
that
it's
screw.
dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they do that. I ran into that like 3 times.
It's worse on calculators. You can never get into a calculator to change the battery.
Why are you wearing sunglasses?
I don't. I think I'm the only one still wearing them.
Yeah.
Why are there
We bailed out on that.
Why are there so many of these?
I was explaining at the beginning of the podcast. Monty, we already talked about that on this podcast.
All right, well, let's wrap this up, and then we'll explain to Monty.
Where are we going for lunch?
I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Jay or Dan, it's your last day in Austin
Oh,
after
you're
a
leaving?
fruitful trip.
Wait,
Where would you like to go?
Wait, why are you here?
I don't know.
Where do you want to go
Hanging
for
out.
lunch?
Home slice.
All right.
Home
They're
Slice.
closed on Monday, aren't they?
They're closed on Tuesday, and also Home Slice 2 is open now, so they're open all the time.
What's the
I just
other
want to see
pizza
him
place?
draw a Home Slice. Do you want to know a little bit of a tidbit, a connection between us and Home Slice?
I already know.
Well, maybe the listeners don't
Wait,
know,
is,
Jack.
is Home Slice across the street?
Yes, right across the street.
No,
That's why we're going to drive there, Monty. in our car. No, Home Slice is up on Congress.
Oh, the one we went to when Barbara came here. What's the one across the street that had like the chocolate pizza?
That is Double Dave's, and that's the... Have you been there yet?
I haven't been there either.
We're going there. Come on,
right.
because you have to see the Coke machine
Okay.
that you drew.
Let's go there.
We're going to Double Dave's? Yeah.
It
We'll do
ran out of like raspberry Fanta.
Shut the
on it.
fuck up. What do you know? Where do you learn the science of the Coke machine?
All
then?
right. Thanks for listening.